She talks about visiting a transition center. Tell her to know which she really wants. Sam puts a hand on yours. What are we going to do, honey? She's your mother. It has to be your choice. Let's get the treatment. It's a difficult choice. You never know when you might need that money, particularly for the kids. What if Charlie gets in an accident? What if Zach and Susie's new house floods and they need your help? What if you could give them a few more good years with their grandmother? Surely that's worth the cost. Keep my grandma. Keep my grandma. Keep my grandma. War declared.
Good evening, Alex. It's Bozeman here. Hope all's well with the family. Just a heads up, we're expecting those troublemakers at Disrupt to attempt to hack the channel during the broadcast, so keep an eye on the interference screen and stay out of the orange. Let's keep the news on the air. It's important, now more than ever.
Interference screen?
Condensed milk, a cow's tongue, and some rhubarb. Not one to miss.
So, Julia's team have asked me to ask you to keep it light.
What does that mean?
Is that thing you do where you turn politicians into humans? Just don't get drawn into talking about the war or politics in general.
They do know this is the news, don't they?
My shit upgrade?
Yes, for me,
It's over to Patrick Bannon for all the day's sports board highlights, including all the tabletop action.
That's the censor button.
We're at Team HQ right now. He's just giving a speech or something tonight. They'll get it on the late news.
Oh, great. So they get the brains and we get the performing monkey.
Followed at 9:25 by our unsettling
Sometimes you sound just like him, you know.
Which tells the cautionary tale
How
of
are
one
you?
brave young lady's battles to survive the cruel administrations of our neighbours.
It
At
is what it
11:25,
It is what it is.
Adrian Atkinson Blimey
I'm
will be
listening
getting
to
his
you now.
teeth into Fiona from Hamble Bamblebury, who has
10
invented a
seconds,
tasty
everybody.
twist on the humble biscuit.
dogs,
And
so.
that takes us, after the weather and public information
Going in
film,
5,
to our close down.
4,
But first,
3.
it's in Megan and the team for the National Night.
Good evening. This is the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Wolfe. It's the 140th day of war. Our main headlines tonight. Company of heroes. Skirmishes on land and sea again today as our armed forces tested the mettle of the World Council's illegal blockade. Advance's strategy of multiple small-scale incursions into the disputed zone is certainly keeping the enemy on high alert, unable to work out where or when the next strike will come. Proud parents throughout the territory find themselves ever more impressed by the bravery and commitment of their incredible children and the job they're doing keeping supply lines open against all possible odds. Don't starve. Advance's food programme moved from strength to strength today as rationing depots were opened in the last remaining unfed areas of the territory. The rationing depots have been constructed in record time, and the government's agricultural coordination strategy has seen shelves restocked with increasing regularity. And judging by the looks on this happy family's faces, it can't
Real
come
family
a moment too
poggers.
soon. They'll be getting a good meal tonight on the government, just like the rest of us. 7 days to die. The recent decision to allow those with long-term health conditions to access transition centres has today been declared an overwhelming success. Previously available only to those in their final years, the expansion of the service has been met with relief by the many organisations calling for it to be opened up to the wider community. The transition centres have reported larger than expected numbers, but report that they are coping well and able to provide a complete and meaningful service to all who choose to use it. Populace. More than 11% of the population have thus far failed to register for a team membership card, a worrying statistic given that the cards are a legal requirement from midnight tonight. It's up to the other 89% of us to remind our tardy friends that not taking advantage of all the exclusive services available to cardholders is now, as it should be, absolutely criminal. Sympathy for the Devils? A poorly attended protest was held today by struggling self-styled resistance movement Disrupt. Support for the organisation has been falling after this and other news outlets showed the public their true colours. And while it's easy to feel some sympathy for them now, as their numbers dwindle and their attempts to garner support grow more desperate, let's not forget how threatening they could be in greater numbers.
True.
And finally tonight, our mutual friend. Bail was denied in the High Court today for shamed former National Nightly News anchor Jeremy Donaldson. The presenter will be transferred to new lodgings at Penton Ridge Prison, while the lengthy preparations for his trial, which is still 18 months away, begin. Following his very public breakdown on this programme 10 weeks ago, the once loved presenter was disarmed and taken into custody by the Community Cohesion Team. Let's hope doctors can help the once great man.
The Batman.
But first tonight, with the war about to enter its 21st week, I'll be chatting with Peter Clement live in an exclusive team talk from his home in Lanfordshire. Don't go away. You won't want to miss a second of tonight's National Nightly News. Later in the programme, I'm thrilled to say I'll be chatting with mega pop star Lil C, who's going to be treating us to a world premiere of her new single. And then after that, in part 3, we've got something new I promise you won't want to miss. But first tonight, let's check in with Prime Minister Peter Clement, who's coming to us through the magic of television all the way from his home in Lanfordshire. Are you receiving me, Prime Minister?
Loud and clear, Miss Wolf. Loud and clear.
Well, let's start with the obvious. What's that in your hand, Prime Minister?
Cheeky cow. But yeah, it's true. 75 days without an alcoholic drink, and I've got to say, I'm beginning to feel the benefits.
It certainly looks that way.
Well, I made a promise to Mrs. C, and as my old man used to say...
A promise is worth keeping?
Something like that, only with assholes.
So, I've heard from my sources that you and the illustrious Mrs. C plan to take your winter break somewhere a little different this year.
That's right. We're planning a walking holiday right
What do I
here in the
do?
territories, which is different for us because, like
I think it's
you,
just trying to
Megan,
obscure my
I've always
vision.
been a big fan of those warm foreign beaches.
Did you make this decision because of the blockade, Prime Minister?
Well, now that's a good question. Well, as you know, while the blockade has effectively restricted the flow of goods into the country, we and our neighbours have continued to allow unimpeded travel for business leaders, ministers and such. So, although me and the missus
Change
could
cam between who's talking.
theoretically
So one
go
time
to
that guy out for a
gorgeous
month.
beach I just mentioned, it just doesn't smell much like team spirit to me. After all, as my old man used to say, when life gives you shite, make shite pie.
It works just as well with lemons and lemonade.
I suppose it does.
Prime Minister,
I don't know what I'm supposed to do
maintaining
here.
a healthy body like yours at a time of national crisis must require some demanding planning. What's your regime and how do you go about it all?
Well, the truth be told, it's all down to Claude, my infinitely patient personal trainer. He's a man with a plan. I'm just the prat with the fat.
Well, on that very subject, how are you and Mrs. C handling living on rations?
Well, let me tell you, Megan, back in the 50s, when I worked for you backstage for your Patrick Brannan's dad, did you know I did that?
I think everyone knows that, Prime Minister.
Well, what you probably didn't know was that Graham Bannon was a right tightwad, paid the bare bloody minimum and still found
Yeah, it's
every
just trying to
possible
block my
excuse he
vision,
could
I
to
think.
dock your pay even further. I remember he once docked me a whole £5 for having an unacceptably smelly lunchbox type bastard. Anyway, what I'm saying is back then I ate a lot less than I am now, even under rationing. We all did. And let's face it, there are still plenty of people in this country who could afford to lose a little bit of weight.
What are you implying? No, but seriously, Prime Minister, we know you're very busy, but one final question, if I may.
Oh, well, go on then.
When you get home from a long day, your head full of the territory's hopes and fears, what music do you listen to when you work out to take your mind off things?
Well, I know I've got a bit of a reputation for being an old fuddy-duddy, but I'd be lying if I didn't say there's something about Little C that just demands one's attention.
Well, let's hope you stay watching, Prime Minister, because she is going to be talking and performing live after the break.
Oh, I'll be watching. After all, as my old man used to say, everything's a treat on a boring Friday with nothing but the wind up your shunt.
It's Wednesday, Prime Minister.
I think the expression still stands.
Peter Clement, thank you for joining me. I don't know about you at home, but I think there's something kind of inspirational there. I know I feel safer. When we come back, Lil C is going to be giving us the debut performance of her new single, and I'll be getting to meet her. As her biggest fan, I don't mind telling you I'm pretty excited. Don't go away. We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back. Gripping stuff.
Was that even news?
I think you forgot to ask him what his favourite number is.
Oh, I must have forgotten that in all the excitement.
So assuming it's not vodka, what do you think's actually in that milk? I reckon it's the tears of his enemies.
You are one disturbed individual.
That's how I cope.
To the person in chat who added me 3 times to keep it out of the orange, you're wrong and dumb. EP Eddie Murphy, thanks for subbing. Set it here, thanks for subbing.
You'll no doubt have spotted the updated mixing desk. You'll
Yep.
need the new buttons during the next sections. First, we'll need applause when the guest enters and before her song. Don't worry, I'll walk you through it when we get there.
Maybe you can transmit the orange? Yeah. I think it's just alternative, either it's trying to fuck me up, or you can go into it to transmit,
I've never heard of her before.
their shit.
She's big, really big.
Really? Is she any good?
Nah, of course not. She's dog shit. But kids go mad for her, absolutely mad.
Live in 10 seconds.
Hang on.
Can I whisper you something that I did that you
Yeah,
will
like
get an
that.
absolute
What's
kick
that
out
mean?
of? I don't have Twitch whispers on, dog.
5, 4, 3.
Thanks for coming back. Later, we have an exciting new feature that we just know you're going to love, so stay tuned for that. But first, I'm really excited for our next guest. She rose to prominence as the delightful Susie May in All My Daughter's Children's Mum, before taking the music industry by storm this year with her debut album smashing the chart records at the age of just 20. Let's give it up and welcome Lil C.
Staff, excellent work.
May I just say, you look incredible.
Oh, thanks, babe. I'm doing this new regime and it really does work.
What's the regime?
And my manager suggested it to me. It basically involves bathing in like cabbage water and then having the leaves sucked out of you while you sleep.
Wow, is that healthy?
Oh, well, look at me, Meg. The leaves are my only nourishment.
Yep, they certainly are. Now, you'll have to forgive me, but I'm somewhat of a super fan, so I'm sorry if I get a bit starstruck.
Oh, bless you. I've never actually heard of you before, so if you do get a little tongue-tied, I can always carry the interview.
Oh, that's good to know. So your first album, F My Face Together, it hit shelves this summer and it just exploded. I mean, what was that like for you?
Bonkers, just so weird. I was in all the papers and the magazines. Overnight, I went from that like annoying little girl from that show to that like sexy little girl from that show.
Wow, that must have been bizarre.
Not really, it was just like any other morning. You know, get up at 5, go on a 4-mile run, have 3 meetings on my cabbage bath, but then only then was my dad actually talking to me.
Oh, of course. I mean, the famed country singer, Billy Bob Jean Short. I didn't know you'd been estranged.
There's nothing that strange about it, Megan. Okay, yes, he may believe that aliens told him to hate women, but there really isn't anything to prove that he's wrong.
Uh-huh. So, this newfound explosion into your popularity, I mean, did that change your life?
Well, I had to start wearing like nicer underwear, you know, for the paparazzi, but as my manager says, best to make the most of it before I'm 30.
Is that right? So, what's the album about?
So I thought it was about like how pretty and great I am, but actually it's about monetizing youth, I think, or about like promoting an unrealistic standard of beauty or something.
Your manager again.
Yeah, he says insecurity is an opportunity.
Oh, do you think he'd be happy with you telling us all this?
Telling you all what? It really doesn't matter what I say here. I'll do my dancing and then this part will all be forgotten about.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, we're going to see some of those famous dance moves very shortly because you're going to be performing your new single, aren't you?
Yeah, it's from my album Put It In My A Together and it's out tomorrow.
So soon, after the last one.
Oh yeah, I've actually released 2 albums since lunchtime and a clothing line during this interview. See, this is called Cry for Help and it's going to be in all the best high street and retailer shops and it's out now. So girly. somebody gets it for you.
Ooh, there she goes. Blimey. All these projects, they're keeping you very busy, aren't they? It must be tough.
Yeah, it can get tough and I hate it sometimes and I hate myself. I just want to like cry into a bath of root veg. But then I think thousands of girls would do anything to be me, so I must be quite lucky.
Well, you know you don't have to do this though, don't you?
Yeah, I do think that sometimes. Most nights between like my 4th vodka and the 8th time a stranger slaps me around the arse. I think things could have been different, you know, like better. But I don't know. I love doing autographs and having somebody dress me and tell me what to wear.
Did you always want to do music?
Well, ever since I was a little girl, I'd sit in front of the radio, and as soon as my favourite girl group would come on, I'd press record on my cassette. But then my dad would come in and tell me to turn it off and to go back upstairs and start practising again.
Oh, sorry, is your dad your manager?
Yeah, which can be tough. And sometimes when it gets really hard, he'll say, "Make Quagler proud and you might just survive childbirth."
Well, you know what, despite anything, you'll make me proud.
Oh, if only your opinion was as valuable as his.
And on that problematic note, you're going to be singing your song for us soon, aren't you? Tell me about it,
So it's called These Babies Gonna Bring You Home, and I actually got sent the lyrics in the car on the way up here. But you know what, it's actually all right. And don't worry, all my work is team approved.
All right then, well, you can go and get ready for that. We'll see you in a little bit. It was a very specific type of pleasure to chat to her, and I just can't wait to hear this. Oh, so here is Lil C with an exclusive first performance of her new track, These Babies Gonna Bring You Home. Take it away.
Thanks, Bozeman.
His favorite, the queen of teams, here to break in your blockades, Lil C.
Oh baby, can't you see I'm hungry? There's a place in me that's empty. I want that meat you're packing, only you can fill that crack in me. I'm under siege, so come and free me. Ain't no disruption here, boy, I got no agenda. Just want the team and me, no dirty foreign member. Don't stop no morning drill, there's holes in me that ain't been filled yet. I only scream this loud when you do your country proud. I ain't no vicar's daughter, come and skirmish on my border. Quick before I get much older, tie me down and pour me like an enemy soldier. An enemy soldier. So let them try and break our dream. We fight and love and die at two. So what if Peter Clemens boys can come and use me as a toy? I wanna see some action, so come and break my sanctions. I've been this wild and free since Mama burdened me. She was only 53, but gave to save her family. There's no one judging me if I'm the one that's in your fantasy. Don't die alone, these babies gonna bring you home. I ain't no vicar's daughter, come and skirmish on my border. Quick before I get much older, tie me down and pour me like an enemy soldier. An enemy soldier. So what if Peter Clemens boys can come and use me as a toy and flip me over, grab my hair, rip off my clothes and dump them there? I wanna see some action, so come and break my sanctions.
that doesn't distract you from the world outside, I don't know what will. I'd like to thank Lil C for doing that. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we'll finally be revealing the new segment of our show that we just know you're going to love. We'll be back right after this.
And we're out.
Can I just say, thank you so much for letting me do this. It really means a lot to me, you know.
Yeah.
To be able to promote myself on such a mainstream platform like the news.
Well, don't worry about it. And you know what? Good luck for the future. Take care of yourself. This industry can be crazy sometimes. Watch out for that father of yours, won't you?
Oh, no. I manage myself. It's just, you know, for the public to have that certain perspective on me. You know what it's like.
Oh, right.
And Michael? Michael?
What about Billy Bob Jean Short? Is he?
Oh, my dad. He's such a sweetheart. We both had the same agents, you know, like it just made sense. Both of us for our image together.
Wow.
And Michael, I want to see the revenue share for the clothing line and get me a G&T before my meeting with the lube guys. If they say for your pleasure, I'm going to start needing it.
Scientific and cultural communities. As a team,
This next section will need you to use all 4 of the sound effects to help things along. Try and pick the most appropriate one at each given moment. The actors can't hear what you're doing, so they'll be trusting you to make the right choices.
even in this most
Do I
challenging
look
of
like the
times.
sort of person who counts
And one day,
things?
soon now, when this turbulent time is behind us, we will glide into a new future as a team. Advance for you and with you, because we are you.
5, 4, 3.
Thanks for joining us for part 3. We've been teasing you about our new feature all night, and now the wait is finally over. I can reveal that every night on the show, we'll be treated to an episode of an informative and hilarious new segment called The Notice Board. It stars some top talent, and we're very excited about it. But before we see it, let's have a quick chat with the writer, director, and phenomenon, may I say, Jeff Algebra, guys.
Actually, I've dropped the algebra. I go by Jeff DePoon now. How'd you like that?
Well, yeah, very fancy. I suppose you need a new name now that you're a successful artiste.
Well, exactly. I'm earning enough to pay taxes now.
Oh.
It's shit.
And how does Angela feel about all this?
Who?
Your wife.
Oh, God, no. No. No, she's long gone. No, she was holding me back. I'm with Norm now. We were married last month.
Norm de Plume.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
And why did you write this? What was your inspiration?
Oh, well, I received a telephone call offering me 25 grand to write a pro-team sitcom, and I heard my father's voice. It said, Jeff, you listen here, boy. You make hay while the sun shines. You wring every penny you can get out of this. So I wheeled him down to the transition centre, got out my typewriter and started clacking.
Wow.
Utter shite.
And without further ado, let's give it up for the notice board.
What? It wouldn't let me hit a...
You have to play a sound effect.
It wouldn't let me play one! What?
Alex, if you keep this up, you'll ruin the notice board, and the actors won't be happy.
Good morning.
I can only use each one
Miss
once.
Craven.
Oh, morning, Ray.
Everything all right, Mrs. Craven? You look as worried as the vicar in closing time.
Oh, Ray, it's those young louts. They've vandalised my shop again.
No!
Yes! They've written all sorts of obscene language and crude pictures, and I know it's those damn youths.
I don't know. It could be the vicar at closing time.
I'm just worried they won't ever become productive members of the community. What if they never see the error of their ways and end up as social outcasts, such as shoplifters or bong rats?
Don't worry, Mrs. Craven. This is a very supportive community, and I'm sure that in time they will fit into this society like this key into this lock.
Brave. There's like a timing.
See? Works like a charm.
Once it turns red, I can't click one.
And
I have like a
just
second
like
and a
that,
half.
We can unlock their future.
Yes, yes. Wow. Look at all the letters in my collection today.
Oh, I think that one's addressed to me.
What? This one? Oh, so you're right. Here it is.
It's a letter from my granddaughter, Brenda. She says she got an A on her maths exam because one of her friends has been helping her. She was always a team player, was our Brenda.
What's up, losers? Hey?
Oh, no. It's Brad. He's the coolest guy in the village.
That's right. I just got here on my motorbike.
Oh, clear off, Brad. We don't want any of your ilk around here.
What? Rad dudes?
No, ruffians. Have you come to tag the notice board with your gang signs?
No way. I've actually come to pin my resume on that notice board. I'm looking to do some tutoring after school.
What did you say? Tutoring?
That's right. Maths is very important. Would you mind, Ray?
Not at all.
So you, a young person, have been spending your time helping others and not just urinating on churches or huffing glue?
Hey, I haven't huffed glue for months.
Well, blow me down!
You know what? We misjudged you based on how young and cool you are and not on your actions.
No doy.
So it wasn't you who vandalised my shop last night or called me a rancid old crone from the back of a chopper?
No way. It can't have been me. I was too busy helping my friend Brenda with her maths homework.
Could you speak up there? I thought for a minute there that you said Brenda.
I did, you daft old sow.
Did you hear that, Ray?
Oh, yes, what a wonderful surprise. I now respect you as a man.
Put her there, Ray. Oh, what the heck? Give us a hug.
Help! I can't. It's off.
Sorry to interrupt the first groundbreaking episode of the notice board, but we're receiving some breaking news. I'm being told we're picking up reports from across the continent of what appear to be nuclear explosions in 4 major foreign cities. Initial estimates put the death toll into the millions. I'm being told that we're experiencing some power fluctuations as a result, so apologies to any interruption to the broadcast for you at home. And now I am told that we are going live to team headquarters for an emergency broadcast from Prime Minister Julia Salisbury at any moment. Yes, let's go to that now.
Good evening, citizens and leaders of the world. Minutes ago, operatives working for Advance detonated nuclear explosives simultaneously in 4 major cities across the continent. We have similar devices in 58 other urban centres and will not hesitate to detonate them if our conditions are not met in full and without delay. The people of our territory will no longer tolerate your illegal and genocidal blockade. You are to remove it immediately. We will accept nothing less than your unconditional surrender. Your territories will be taken under our control. We will install replacement governments to ensure that your citizens become part of the new future. Your borders are now our borders. Your people are our people. They will finally be fed and clothed and educated and healed. But for your privileged few, the moment that they feared is now upon them.
Yeah!
Allow me to be crystal clear. If you fire a single shot at our territory, or harm a single one of our citizens, we will not hesitate to detonate further devices. You will not find them, though no doubt you are already searching for them. Our technology is decades ahead of yours. We will expect your complete acceptance of our terms by midnight tonight. Thank you.
Well,
my PM, bro!
Okay, so there you have it. Advance making a brave move that looks likely to end the war in this, its 20th week. There's a lot to take in here.
That's my PM.
And I know you, like me, will be wondering if this is too much. If we've gone too far. But I'm thinking of our sick and ill, denied their medicines, the children with no food on their plates, and the body bags returning from the front line. And I ask myself if, without some big, bold gesture, it would ever stop, and I do not think it ever would. We elected Advance to make this country better for us all, and it was working. But then the rest of the world looked at us and they said this cannot be seen to succeed. And they brought their warships and their tanks and their planes just to make sure that we were instead seen to suffer. To make sure no one anywhere would ever attempt this again. So, to my mind, our government have taken the only path available to them. A difficult decision for their hearts to bear, but one that ultimately we can respect because it is designed to keep us safe. And while this is unquestionably a dark night, it may indeed presage the dawn of a new future. My name's Megan Wolf. Let's make tomorrow better.
What continent, bro?
And we're out.
Do you ever get the feeling that you're making history?
I got a D for D's nuts.
Struggling to find just the basics. So where on earth are you supposed to go for the other essentials? The things that make life worth living.
Remington's Fist.
I positively loathe these sanctions, Jane. I can't remember the last time we boiled a duck à l'orange.
I concur absolutely, Brian. There's barely enough milk to undermine the tea.
George from the club. He thought he had a chance as an avocado last Tuesday. He's dead now.
Oh, Brian, woe is me. How did we ever fall so low?
One is certain a preferable way exists.
And you'd be right. We've had our biggest and best brains working on this for months, and we've got you covered with the Remington's Fist Siege Survival Box. Inside every blockade-busting box, you'll find the things you really missed. A red wine where you can hardly taste the chemicals. some rare meat we grew in our production laboratory. Chocolate so salty, you'd believe it came from Svenland. The list of luxuries is endless, at least 7. And we've even added a random twist. 1 in every 100 boxes will contain
a golden flard.
Looks like they just got
What
lucky.
is a flard?
Remington Swiss Siege survival boxes. So good you'll believe they were made somewhere else.
Ah!
So.
What? That's not what I wanted to see.
But first, looks that way.
Just listen, Ivan. I don't care what your people are telling you. If something were happening, I promise you I would know about it. Because I'm the fucking Prime Minister, Ivan. And the size of my penis is really not relevant here. Julia and I have no secrets from each other. None. And you're like man who thinks he's in horror movie when you're in a rom-com. Relax, mate. I'll see you at the Peace Summit. We'll get all this sorted out and you'll be back at the Grange before you know it.
10 seconds, Prime Minister.
Right you are. Gotta go, Ivan. Love to the mistresses. Reputation for being an old. Well, that went well, I thought. Nary a swear word in sight. Right, you lot, I better fuck off then. Me and the missus have got a long, hard night with a 2,000-piece jigsaw. Christ, back in me drinking days, the thought of a night like that would make me want to remove my own bollocks with a pair of rusty pliers. But right now, I can't think of anything else I'd rather be doing. Hold on to the ones you love, son. That's the trick. As my old man used to say, when the flaps start wobbling, it's time to put...
I tickle you pickle and Heimdall Tatsuro, thanks for subbing. The rest of your shift passes in a blur, with the same words going around and around in your head. Operatives working for advanced detonated nuclear explosives. Initial estimates put death toll in the millions. This just really happened. You pull into the driveway with no memory of the journey home. The light in the front is on. Clearly someone else is still awake. The door creaks open in the living room. You find Sam sitting on the sofa staring at the TV. The screen is off and they're clearly lost in thought. You take a seat beside them and put a reassuring hand on their shoulder. They start at your touch, breaking out of their stupor. They attempt a smile, but you can see it's strained. Sorry, I didn't hear you come in. I was thinking about so many people. I can't quite believe it. I know it's terrible. Nothing short of atrocity. All these people, those innocent people. How can anyone think this is okay? Sam's eyes are blazing with anger, and they look at you accusingly. I know you've always supported Advance, but you can honestly tell me this was right. It was us or them. They'd have forced us all to starve if Advance hadn't stepped in. Oh, well, of course you think that. We all know your thoughts on Advance. Sam shakes their head at you and stands snorting in disgust. Millions died, Alex. If friends in Advance pulled the trigger, forget it. Fuck this. I'd like you to leave. Sorry, what? You heard me, Alex. This is the last straw. Sam stands up and steps back, their voice raised. We've been trying to make it work for so long, but we're fighting a losing battle. To be honest, you haven't been a good partner or a parent recently, and I'm sick and tired of your selfish, naive attitude to everything. You stare in stunned silence. Get out! Without a word, you leave and get back in your car. The sound of the heavy rain is your only companion for the first half of the journey to the hotel, but eventually you switch the radio on. They're reporting on the aftermath of the nuclear strikes. It seems that you're not the only ones discussing it this evening. Is Sam right? Clearly you've just apart more than you might have thought. Hopefully you'll be able to go home soon. It's your house, though. You don't know that. You don't know her job. 420. 420. Do the number. A long day at work, you go back to your apartment to find a thick padded envelope waiting for you. You're still not used to the quiet living on your own, so you switch on the radio as you sit at the kitchen table and examine it. Carefully, you break the seal and retrieve its contents. With the attention of Alex Winston, we write to inform you that Sam Winston has instructed us to begin divorce proceedings. Your stomach drops. You'd hope the separation was temporary, but apparently that was not the case. You look around your studio apartment and think of the kids. Sam's just trying to take away Charlie and Susie on top of everything else. Suddenly, the noise from the radio is just nails in a chalkboard, and you shove it off the counter. The crash echoes around your empty home. A seemingly ordinary morning, but as you get into work, you find a small crowd gathered in the break room. When you go in to grab your first cup of tea of the day, you can't help but overhear some excited chatter. You didn't hear? Yeah, another one's gone missing. What's that bring the total up to now? Oh, I think over 100 at this point. They won't have all have been reported or noticed yet. An excited young woman turns to you and begins to explain. Another professor went missing from Queensview University. With all the other disappearances over the last year, scientists, doctors, researchers, she pauses before lowering her voice to whisper. It's clearly disrupt targeting the people speaking out against them. I even heard advanced are struggling to prevent further. A deep, familiar voice from behind you interrupts. What exactly is going on here? Silence overtakes the room as you turn in unison toward the doorway. Bozeman clears his voice before continuing. I told you before I don't want to hear any... I don't want to hear about these so-called disappearances. Come on now. People, advance have been very clear that there's nothing to worry about. Which means they're not our problem, and unless they start classing cappuccinos as intellectual, I don't think anyone here has anything to worry about. Best to get back to work. Bozeman holds up a hand to keep you as everyone else files out of the room. Look, between you and me, this leave it alone malarkey comes from on high. It's out of my hands, so I would appreciate if you would refrain from talking about it further. Make sure the news is in line with that school of thought, yes? He gives you a pat on the arm and a smile before leaving to carry on with whatever it is he does during the workday. It seems that, for better or for worse, public ownership is now in full swing. Yes. Yes. Good to Maya, thanks for subbing. Moving on up. You drum your fingers to the steering wheel impatiently as you wait for Charlie again. It's great he's enjoying the cohesion cadets and is so enthusiastic, but does he really need to stay behind every week to help? It's your Saturday evening too, after all. Finally see him exit the hall with a grin on his face. Can't help but smile back. The frustrating start to fade as you see him so genuinely happy. After hugging his friends goodbye, Charlie heads over to the car and gets in, his face flushed with excitement. So how was you're interrupted? He can't contain himself any longer. Guess what? What? Obviously, the cohesion cadets is the starting point for becoming a CCO, so we get a head start when applying for that. Charlie gushes, he's gonna become a cop! Charlie gushes, almost tripping over the words in his efforts to tell you. Well, apparently, from next year, the top 5% of cadets will be taken into a special program to become CCM, Community Cohesion Managers. I guess who's gonna be in it? That's great news, Charlie. We're all so proud of you. With a grin from ear to ear, he sits back in his seat. Yeah, I'm so glad I joined. I can't wait to tell everyone. You chuckle. I think a celebration's in order. How about we pick up some takeaway on the way home? Yes, SoCo! And the rest of the car ride is spent with Charlie listening to every takeaway he could think of. It's great to see him doing so well. I'm so proud of my Hitler Youth son. Good work. Manage these communities, son. Detonate some nuclear devices, son. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. You've taken to waking up early on the weekends. Now living on your own has meant that you've needed to keep yourself busy. It's hard not to miss the hustle and bustle of the family home. You flick on the television as you grab some breakfast. This is breaking news. Reports are coming in from across the country that large swaths of farmland went up in flames last night as part of what authorities are calling a heinous and well-planned act of terrorism by the group known as Disrupt. You drop your spoon back into the porridge and turn up the volume. In addition to food stores, which government sources have said will put a strain on universal menu centers countrywide, a number of CCO and civic buildings were also targeted in last night's attack. According to Prime Minister Julia Salisbury, specific prisons and re-education and betterment facility were also raided, and a small selection of problematic and potentially dangerous individuals were forcibly extracted from lawful custody. I can't wait for Jeremy to kill us. You'll hold your breath waiting to hear if anyone got hurt. Fortunately, the CCOs were well prepared for an event like this, and Disrupt appeared to be disorganized in comparison. While there were a limited number of fatalities, these were entirely comprised of disrupt terrorists. With only 3 CCOs reported injured in various conflicts across the country, a significant amount of disrupt activists were arrested and incarcerated, awaiting transfer to a better maintenance center. More on this story as it develops. Left in the silence of your studio apartment, you think about the night of fire. Disrupt are clearly stepping up their game, though something tells you this is the beginning, not in the end. Hopefully your family are handling this all okay. They're dead. They're dead. Jeremy's gonna show up at work and shoot us, dog. Here we go. Parfait Desu, thanks for subbing. Man. Is that Ellen DeGeneres? Cool. Cool. Year and a half since Liberation Night.
Can you hear me? Alex? This is Alan James. The revolution starts tonight, Alex, and to be frank, we need your help. I know you've never been that sympathetic to our cause, but since the bombs, well, you've seen what happened. They have to be stopped, Alex. You know it in your heart, and tonight, well, it might be our very last chance. Play our tape at the second break. It's on your right. And please, when I hack in, let my message reach the people just once, just tonight, before advance can't be stopped.
So what?
How's he doing?
How should I know?
What, you haven't heard from him?
He's a wanted criminal, Colin.
So's my nan, but she never misses a birthday.
Your grandmother's on the run, Colin.
Yeah. Armed robbery, resisting arrest, double homicide of the same bloke. She's right laugh.
I hope he's alright, though.
No, he's got this far, and your brother was fine. I'm going in 10 seconds.
Not a chance.
Wonder what they're doing.
Annoying him, probably.
Not probably, definitely. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. This is the National Nightly News, broadcasting across the territories. My name is Megan Wolf. Our top stories tonight. Future legend. It's been 40 days since Disrupt conducted multiple attacks across the territories. During the coordinated action, subsequently dubbed the Night of Fire, emergency services were kept busy at the agricultural centres, while a series of covert attacks were carried out freeing political prisoners, including former newsman Jeremy Donaldson. The disgraced former journalist was obviously considered a high-value target by Disrupt, who had often championed him as a possible new voice for their cause. We encourage you to turn yourself into the CCOs, Jeremy, if you can, wherever you are right now. Food, glorious food. With the last of the menu centres opening in territories 5, 8 and 14 today, Advance confirmed that the programme is now in full operation, providing free food for every citizen of the new future. What started as rationing during the 20-week war has blossomed into a social contract that is the envy of the unawakened world. Promising a healthy, nutritious diet designed to keep all citizens at peak performance, the menu centres used locally sourced produce for that farm-to-plate experience, without the need for spreading manure in your tighty-whities. Happy talk. Record happiness levels have been reported today across the territories. As more and more former countries join the new future, a survey carried out by scientists at Queensview University reveals a stunning fall in depression, self-harm and suicides, especially in those territories which have historically faced the most unjust of indivisions. Professors Whiff Piffle and Grantley Major said that their rigorous statistical analysis left them in no doubt that things are numerically better for everyone everywhere. So if you think you're feeling down in the dumps tonight, you're empirically wrong. Something's coming. Unsubstantiated rumours here in Territory 1 of armed protests tonight by increasingly desperate Disrupt terrorists. Despite the best efforts by the government, the self-styled resistance movement has continued to carry out a series of ever more extreme attacks. Increasingly unstable Disrupt spokesperson, the conspiracy nut Alan James, has not ceased in his lurid attempts to radicalise the public against Advance. And an ending of sorts tonight for 3 stories we've been following. A fistful of dollars. After a highly profitable year, Remington's Fist today announced the opening of their new high-tech underwater corporate HQ. Astounding CEO Sophia Remington, pictured here, departing for the new HQ built using underwater FLAD technology.
Why were they the same?
We've put windows everywhere. Saves a fortune on aquariums. A happy ending there for Sophia Remington. Fun guy. Unexpected news today as two familiar scientists announced the birth of an extraordinary child. The underground struggle of doctors David Wong and Ingrid Sforsborg and Horgensward captured the hearts of people around the world. And after an arduous return voyage, which took over a year, the couple say they've never been happier. Baby Dante is said to be healthy, if a bit partial to the airing cupboard. Full time.
He's got fungus head.
Mourned the loss of a former hero today at the funeral of footballing star Johnny Handsleeves. Dogged by controversy throughout his life, the troubled striker's behaviour became more and more erratic in recent years. His tragic and avoidable death at the age of just 29 will come as a blow to his literally tens of fans around the world. All that, plus we'll be taking a trip to Dangley Parts for the notice board, as well as getting a sneak peek at the hottest ticket in town. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News. But first, 500 days of a fine leader and a great man. The start of tonight's programme is dedicated to remembering and celebrating the life of Peter Clement. Patrick Bannon is live from Parliament Park, where Julia Salisbury will be breaking ground on what will soon be a memorial garden in Peter's honour. Patrick.
Listening to that old bitch lying through her teeth about missing that poor bastard.
Patrick.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
We're live.
Because I'm not being funny. Things were better with Peter, weren't they?
Patrick.
They were, and I don't mind saying it. They were, because he held her back. But now there's no stopping her.
Hello, Patrick. We're
Of
live.
course, can't say that, can I, Francis? No, not with public ownership. No, with public ownership, you can't say anything these days.
There.
Now, she's lost it, mate. She's completely off the rocker. I heard from an aide that... Hello, Megan. You join me here live from the what? Oh.
Seems like we've lost some signal there for a moment. Well, we will be going live to that groundbreaking ceremony just as soon as we can get Patrick back.
Did they say how Peter Clement died?
I think the memorial garden
I missed
is going
that.
to be gorgeous. I've had a sneak peek at the designs, and Alana Marsh has done a fabulous job. Oh, okay, all right. It seems like we have got the signal back. We can now go live to Patrick Bannon in Parliament Park. Patrick.
Thank you, Megan. I'm Patrick Bannon, and we are
That is not Patrick
live
Bannon.
here. Apologies for the technical difficulties there, but any moment now, Julia Salisbury will step out on stage behind me.
Alex, Bozeman here. The boys in editing have just informed me that the eulogy footage isn't fully cut together yet. You're going to have to do it on the fly. For goodness sake, make sure you make it look good.
Slowly gathering since this afternoon.
What?
This is Alan. You can undermine them here and help us win hearts and minds. Make him look bad, Alex. Really bad.
And it seems like the ceremony is getting underway. Here is Prime Minister Julia Salisbury, the picture of elegance, to begin her address.
Good evening, fellow teammates and friends. 500 days ago, all of our lives changed irrevocably. Still reeling from the triumphs and tribulations of Liberation Night, another great loss befell the people of these newly united territories. The loss of a leader, a statesman, a dear friend, and a hero. Peter Gordon Clement.
Peter's death at the age of just 62, of course, announced by the team on the 24th of December, just 6 weeks after Liberation Night.
Born to a working-class family on a housing estate in Rotherham, Peter first trained as a carpenter before getting his start on television. First moving and building scenery, and then developing into the personality that we all knew and loved so much.
What?
Just the Job first hit our screens over 25 years ago, running for 11 series, winning multiple awards, and charming audiences up and down the country.
Peter taught us, all of us, not to be content with the way things are, not to accept inequities, no matter how small. But he also taught us what it took to fight them. Courage, integrity, empathy, and hard, bloody graft.
Across a career spanning 3 decades, Peter Clement was known for shows including Wake Up, It's Saturday, and much later, late-night chat show PT, which at its peak drew millions of viewers.
Peter was by no means a saint. Trust me, he once told me he had more regrets than he'd had stolen dinners. He always did have a knack for a turn of phrase. But it speaks to the strength of his character that he chose to share with us his mistakes alongside his achievements, his faults as well as his talents. Peter had the heart to give it all he had for the people of these United Territories.
Famous for his potty mouth, it's estimated conservatively that Peter Clement uttered over 1.5 million swear words during his career, though some sources put this figure well in excess of 2 million F-bombs alone.
Gripped by illness as he was in the weeks and months leading up to Liberation Night, he wasn't the man we loved.
How was I supposed to know he was going to punch that guy?
Still twinkled with that familiar joy for life, that spark of wit and wisdom of a life lived for others.
Prime Minister Clement, of course, died from apparent liver failure after suffering from the long-term effects of alcohol abuse.
I first met Peter nearly 20 years ago, moments before I was supposed to give a speech.
Who the fuck is this other guy?
Only I'd spilt coffee all down myself, and I was young, nervous, desperate to be liked, and from behind me I heard, "Christ, pet, you've either pissed your kecks or sprung a leak, but either way you got a problem." And before I could even say a word, he stripped off his dry trousers and insisted I took them. That was the sort of man that Peter Clement was. Kind, compassionate, sensitive, a brilliant thinker, a natural leader, but mostly a good man. This glorious nation of ours, so beautiful and new, this shining beacon.
Maybe you could edit more in our favor
Nice.
next time. Things are about to get started. We have another chance to control the impression the public gets. You'll know when, Alex.
The future he forged, the boundaries he pushed. To me, he'll always be the man in his pants cheering on a stranger at the back of the conference. It is my great honour to give to you the Peter Clement Memorial Garden. Should we see if we can get a countdown going? Everyone with me? 10, 9, 8, 7.
Now, Alex, control the message.
Mom, we have to get you to safety. Come with us.
I'm not leaving, I can't. You two, come with me. Don't panic. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. You stay. Okay. You two, stay with him.
Mom, we have to stay by your side.
I am the Prime Minister, and if I give you an order, you will damn well follow it. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Yes.
Mom.
Keep your eyes open.
Look at me. Look at me. Stay with me. Help me. Stay with me. We've got you. I've got you. I've got you. Just stay with me. No. Stay with me. I need help now. Please, stay with me. Please. Stay with me.
Request authorization. Centigrades are requested. Target approaching Songbird.
Target on.
You've done enough! Look around you!
Fucking
This is what your precious freedom
looks like it's on fire! Lower your weapons! Location secure. Lower your weapons! Centigrade authorization was granted. None. It was unnecessary. Can't you see? Will you turn that off, please, sir? I said, please turn that off.
Shocking scenes from the capital there, exclusively on the National Nightly News, and our apologies to any of our viewers who might have found this evening's events upsetting. But at the National Nightly News, we believe in bringing you the raw, unedited truth as it happens. And we make no apology for that. We'll update you on the latest from this
But I was editing
later
it.
in the programme, but when we come back, it's time for happier pursuits, and you know what that means by now. Don't go away. We'll be back after this.
Alex, I don't know what else to say. We need your help. I'm begging you.
This is becoming a weekly event.
No, it's different tonight. This is the big one.
Great. So there's a revolution happening outside and we're off to dangly fucking parts.
That's journalism, apparently. Can we get set for the next sequence?
Our rank is not good.
Join today and you could receive a private education, an unbearable sense of entitlement, and your own middle initials. And if you call now, you'll also get this as a
Alex, during this next section, a cameraman working in the newsroom who's one of us is going to get a coded location out. We don't know yet which camera he's on, but if we find out, I'll let you know. Just keep your eyes out for the fist and try and keep it on the air for at least 5 seconds. Our operatives will do the rest.
Yeah, all right, man. Maybe I will do that.
Again, this is your new makeup artist, Craig.
No.
What?
No.
10 seconds, everybody. Sorry, Craig. It's a no. Okay, we are going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News with me, Megan Wolfe. Very shortly, we'll be heading on over to the final episode of what has quickly become a hugely successful feature, the notice board. But before we do, let's chat with Philippa Radin. Tell me, why do you think the public love the notice board so much?
It's real. There, I said it. It connects with people. You know, people look at us and they say, those are real people struggling with real problems.
That's a really interesting point.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying to my PA secretary as I got out the limo, I was saying, it's good for people to see normal, authentic people like them on TV.
People like you.
Yeah, precisely.
Right.
Unfortunately, then I was interrupted by some dreadful wretch who wanted an autograph, but a swift kicking from security soon put him back in line.
Yes, well, I think it's really good that our screens are filled with such relatable stories. So, the notice board is coming to an end after a sensational time at the top. What do you think has made this show so successful?
Oh, it's a combination of so many things. My hard work, my talent, my look.
Wow, we really have a lot to thank you for.
Hey, hey, hey. You're welcome.
We've just heard our man's on camera 4.
I have a real sense of responsibility now. You know, a sense I've been entrusted with something precious and that I should use that platform for good.
Yeah, I think that's really important, that we should use this platform to do good in the world. I agree.
That's exactly it. So I've decided to help as many underprivileged children as I can.
You blew that one, Alex. You there. See if you can get a message to...
Better access to education, or, you know, reducing child poverty.
No, by adopting as many as I can get my hands on.
Oh, okay. How many
To
children have you
Jeremy.
adopted?
He's coming.
Well into the double figures now, Megan. I stopped counting in the late 30s.
Goodness, that is a lot of children.
Yeah, once we finish putting them into the guest room, I'll have to put a futon in the laundry cupboard.
Oh, you really are some sort of hero.
Hey, I live a privileged life. What can I say? I mean, any child I can take on is a child rescued from suffering.
Poor children. Were their lives really that bad before?
Oh, they're Northerns, I presume so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's shocking to think actually that only 1 in 10,000 children have a celebrity parent.
I'd never thought of it that way before.
And I'm doing everything I can to fix those numbers.
What do you think it is about your life that's so desirable then?
Well, it's mainly shame and panic interspersed with expensive bottled water, so actually, if anyone wants to, I'd happily trade.
Now that I can relate to. Right, you better go off and get ready. That was Philippa Radin sharing some thoughts about her lifestyle. I think it's really important to stay grounded and keep everything in perspective. Clearly, not everyone else agrees, but that's enough for me. Let's go now over to Dangly Parts for the final ever episode of the notice board.
What a day! First the tea morning, and now to post this notice. I don't know how I managed to cope with it all. Oh wait, perhaps I do. Oh! By St. Barnabas, what on earth is all this?
Freeze, dirtbag!
Oh, Laura, it's you. I thought for a moment you were a knife-wielding mugger or stabber.
No, I'm afraid not. It's just me, a community cohesion officer, responsible for keeping crime at record lows.
Of course. Keep forgetting that thanks to you and your colleagues, violence on our streets is a thing of the past.
What's all this, Vicar?
I know! It's a disgrace. Somebody has defaced...
You might as well try and get the go code out, Alex. Some of the cells know the location. We need 3 boos for the next 3 sound effects. 3 boos in a row. Please. Lives depend on it.
It looks heavy.
Ha! They don't call me the Right Reverend. Ripped for no reason.
You missed it.
I wanted him to know.
It's no good.
I made a conscious effort to not even play a single sound.
Classes were a waste of time.
Perhaps you, a young CCO, would be able to move it.
Oh, you're fucking us, Alex.
Looks like all those lifting classes were a waste of time.
It's too heavy, even for me, a strong and capable
Why
woman.
won't you help us? We're outnumbered. We're outgunned. What's wrong with you?
Did someone call for the best firefighter in town? Hi!
Well done, Captain Evans. You're so much stronger than us.
Especially me, the weak old man.
It's the least I could do for my community.
No luck catching the little devil then?
Unfortunately not. The ferrets struck again last night. When Ray opened the post office this morning, he found that every single stamp had been pre-licked.
My God!
Some people have no decency.
Sadly, if we don't catch him before tomorrow, we may have to cancel the village fete.
Don't worry. We won't let that happen. Will we, Vicar?
No, no, no. Laura, tell me, why do they call him the ferret?
Some say it's because of his sneaky nature. But really it's because whenever he strikes, he always leaves behind the foul stench of urine.
Never fear, officer. We'll catch this pissy nuisance and save the village fete. Or my name's not Captain Danger Evans. The community cohesion team are doing their best, but they simply don't have the smarts to solve this mystery. But I know someone who does. Someone who's about to blow this thing wide open. Me! Blackout!
It's the morning of the village fete, thanks to theatrical convention.
I sure hope everything goes to plan. Oh, look! There's Mrs. Craven setting up her cake stall.
And look, there's the motorcycle display team setting up for a show that will be far too expensive for live television.
I'm going to set up the coconut shy. What are you doing, Vicar?
First, I'm running the tombola. Then, I'll be selling forgiveness for money.
Aren't you judging the jams?
I couldn't possibly.
Well, that sounded like Mrs. Craven. Looks like someone sucked all the jam out of her donuts.
That damn ferret has struck again.
Whatever are we to do?
Although I'm very competent, I have no idea how to solve this case.
I guess we'll just have to cancel the fate.
Hold it right there, ferret.
Me? Have you been drinking from the fire extinguishers again?
Not you, the vicar.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Admit it. You wanted the village fete cancelled so you could have the day off, didn't you?
I already have to work Sundays. I shouldn't have to work 2 days a week.
But how did you know?
Well, my first clue was the smell.
Yes, I do smell of urine.
Next, I noticed that the vicar's tongue was particularly dry, almost as if he'd been licking thousands and thousands of stamps.
Or perhaps eating Mrs. Craven's baking.
Which brings me on to my third clue. The vicar said that he had no more room for jam.
Almost as if he'd had his fill.
Precisely.
But you managed to figure it all out from that?
Well, I also found this at the scene.
That proves nothing. No!
Get him out of here, officer!
You did it, Captain. You could say you ferreted him out.
Hey, come on. Let's go and have a party in my massive garden. I am doing well.
Thanks to you, we're all doing well. That was it, the final ever episode of the Notice Board, and what a way to end it. Thank you as always to Jeff, Philippa and Tommy. After the break, we'll be both dancing and learning, so don't change that channel. We'll be right back.
That's the ads. Well done, everybody.
What a brilliant run, eh? After party at my
Alex,
place, eh?
this is important. Tonight is our one chance. Please, please play our ad.
All kinds of sausage. Hey, you. You coming to the after party?
Remington's Fist is now so successful.
Oh, for...
Buys another company on average every 12 seconds.
Like this traditional butcher shop or this family-owned bakery.
It's too late. I can't play it, man. I'm sure they're doing all right out there, though. Doc Pockets, thanks for subbing. Mojo's Ryan, thanks for subbing. It sounds like they're doing good, man.
You're practically guaranteed a position at one of Remington's Fist's up-and-coming new sectors.
There's human effluence disengagement, stationary
Please,
enumeration,
Sarah, anything.
the treasury.
Mom, I'm really not supposed to say.
Are we safe? Hi, I'm Maddie. Johnny just said to ask if you need a touch-up.
Did she? That's my shade, is it?
Yeah.
This is my shade.
We're doing so well, we can basically
Run back to Jenny now.
applicants, so the standard is pretty high.
Sorry about that, Sarah. Nothing you can tell me. At all, like at all. They said no one's died, that's all I can say.
10 seconds.
What's wrong with you?
She is in tears.
Ugh.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later in this segment, we're hoping to be able to go back to Patrick Bannon at the scene of tonight's shocking Disrupt attack. But first, I'm delighted to be joined by the cast of the smash hit musical everyone is talking about. I'll be speaking with the cast in a moment, but first, let's take a look at them in action. Please give a warm National Nightly welcome to the Novaries.
Hello? Doctor?
Thank you for letting me know. I have a decent life. I'm a happy, loving wife. And my job is well paid and fulfilling. I have a husband, John. He's due home soon, won't be long. And I have to tell him something that is absolutely chilling. We share coffee in the morning, and we make love every day. We take time alone together to talk and laugh and play. We prioritize our needs. We do charitable deeds. But the flowers of a happy life are now beset by weeds.
I'm home.
Oh, darling John.
Oh, dearest John.
There's something very wrong. I've just had a conversation with our doctor, David Watts, so please be seated. This news will make you feel defeated. The scans revealed a lump.
You poor unlucky chump. Is it cancer?
Worse, oh, John. We're having a baby.
How can this be?
Oh, woe is me.
Why has this happened to me? I always wear 2 condoms for the maximum of safety.
In our tiny flat, we built a peaceful habitat. Now our lives are fucked. We're having a baby. Now you can't have any wine at book club.
And there won't be any time for foot rubs.
Now your hair will stink of weed.
And you'll start to disagree.
And forget about that holiday in Territory 3. No more waking up at 10:30. In fact, you're never going to get a good night's sleep again. No more snap decisions to go on to a club. You'll be lucky if you even make it out to the pub. Why can't we be more like our gay and lesbian chums?
The only glue they have to deal with comes from personal bums.
Now when I take a sick day at home,
The parasite won't leave you alone.
how he's wrong.
We're our top priority.
I look after you, and you look after me. Ain't no trouble and strife. We got a childless life. No one wails and no one walls. No one draws things on the walls.
A happy husband.
A wonderful wife. We got a childless life. We're having a baby. We're having a baby. Changing nappies daily. We're having a baby. No more weekends by the coast. Now your kid is uppermost. It's more than a passing craze to have childless days.
We're having a
Food
baby.
and drink thrown everywhere. Death trap toys at the top of the stairs. Every parent prays to have childless days.
We're having a baby.
No more spas and no more. We're having a baby. 18 years on bills and leaves. Time for a whole new phase. These
We're having a
childless
baby.
days. One more thing before the show begins. Have you considered that you might be having twins?
Amazing! The Novaries there, treating us to their opening number from Elegy for a Childless Life, which is currently the hottest ticket in the Capital Theatre District, and will be touring the territories later this year.
Right then, come on, you got.
Come on down, let's go, don't be shy.
Hello. Hi, Megan. Hi. It's an honour to be here.
Oh, really? Are you fans of the show?
Yeah, it used to be.
Well, listen, let's get stuck in.
your amazing musical. Now, I mean, not only do you perform this show every single night,
With matinees on Wednesday and Saturday.
right, but you're also the show's creators, am I right?
Well, everyone contributed their ideas, and then some of us went away and did the actual work on the script. But no, it's very much a team effort.
Oh, that's fantastic. How rude of me. I've not introduced any of you. I'll be the one being replaced next. Let's go down the line, shall we?
Hi, I'm Jack.
Jim Blunt. Pleasure to be here.
Jennifer Boreham Woodley.
Hello, I'm John Sapley. Used to be in the business professionally.
My name's Jill, with a J.
And I'm Janet. I'm the youngest.
That's incredible. And you were all friends previously. I mean, what a coincidence, right? With your names beginning with a J.
Oh my goodness, guys! Our names all begin with J.
How have we never noticed that?
Because you haven't typed them out 1,000 times, maybe?
You knew? Why didn't you say anything?
I thought we all knew. It's bloody obvious, isn't it? I just thought we were doing a funny thing where we never mentioned it.
And I believe as well as being friends, you're also couples, you know, in real life as well as in the show.
Well, not exactly.
No. I'm not married to him. I'm with Janet.
And I'm with John, you lucky bean.
Jim and I are married.
4 fabulous years.
Well, that must make for some confusion in the rehearsal room.
Well, you should have seen the first draft. Jen decided that Jack would play Jim, I would play Jack, Jen Janet, Jill Jen, Janet Jill.
What about John?
Well, my character was originally just called Man 1.
It was allegorical.
It was very confusing.
Not for a professional.
After much doing and throwing.
And gnashing and wailing.
And gin and tonic.
We decided that we'd just use our own names, which is less truthful.
We're also less likely to go into the wrong dressing rooms.
Oh, God, yeah, that would be very embarrassing, wouldn't it?
Of course, when I first wrote it, we were only meant to run for a few nights at the Nimby Village Hall, but when I registered it with the Department for Culture, it caught the eye of someone high up, and before you could say overnight sensation, we were transferring to the capital.
It's all been a bit of a roller coaster, really. I'm only 19. I'm the youngest.
You really don't have to repeat that.
I had to give up my job as a mortuary technician.
Well, yes, we all had to move to the capital.
I love that job.
It's been a very turbulent time.
So peaceful, no singing.
This piece isn't political.
Stand by, Alex. Censor the orange.
It's about children, and why you shouldn't have them.
In a way, I guess it is political, with a small p. After all, we are a solid unit, and eagle-eyed audience members will see we nod our heads to advance on stage throughout, and we target the messaging at women aged 22, well, about 35, as they're the most likely to be afflicted by this terrible problem.
Terrible problem.
Having children.
Well, you understand, Megan.
You clearly agree.
Wow, this isn't about me. So.
Of course, we see that there are advantages to a family unit, but eagle-eyed couples watch as the little parasites advance on their lives, and there's no time to play the guitar, get through a book, or watch a movie. They're exhausted, passed out on the couch by 20 to 9, for God's sake.
You're very chatty tonight, dear.
Usually I'm the chatty one, because...
You're the youngest, we know. It's not a badge of honour, Janet.
Janet, please, Jennifer. Oh, well said, John. Thanks, Janet. Got you back.
So could you just tell us what is the play about? What happens in it?
Well,
go ahead.
It's a tragedy, obviously. Jennifer, myself, and John have their child, and then the story charts the downfall of their hopes and dreams.
And there's lots of singing.
And dancing.
A lot.
My character works at a menu centre for a distribution unit. Eagle-eyed, she sees her friend's rapid advance to a pit of despair. Becoming a target for children's TV advertising at the age of 22, she decides to take drastic action. I can't really say more, though. I probably said too much already.
Yes. Let's not spoil the second act for anyone who might come to see it.
Which should be all of you. For too long, we've been told that a life without children is somehow incomplete, that children are a blessing. Well, I've done the research, and they're not. Besides, there's already loads of bastards running around all over the place, so...
We just want people to have
That
the option
bastard
of a
was
happy,
censored.
child-free life without stigma. You know,
when I was 14, before I had come out, I had an experience with a girl called Julia Jacobs. She was an experiment, I guess, you know, a chance to dip my toes into the...
Fascinating. Well, thank you all so much for coming in tonight. I really hope you keep them dancing in the aisles for many performances to come. The no there. And I am pleased to say we can now go back to Patrick Bannon to get the latest from the scene of tonight's horrific events. Patrick, are you okay?
Thank you.
That's not
Megan.
Patrick Bannon.
This is Patrick Bannon reporting from the scene of tonight's devastating and symbolic attack tonight this evening. An attack which I myself have been found myself caught up in. I'm still a little dazed and a little deaf, Megan. So I hope you'll forgive me if I seem that it's time to speak with the Prime Minister. Mrs. Salisbury, that's you. You're still here. The Prime Minister.
I couldn't leave, not when there were people that needed help. Any team player would have done the same. I don't deserve praise for being human.
True.
Yes, no.
That's my
here.
Prime Minister,
or
man.
Palisades. Or lemonade. Right. So, is the situation now? Are we safe?
Yes. The security services performed their duties without hesitation, and I would like to assure the public that although there have been some injuries, there were no civilian deaths here this evening.
Oh, that's good news about the Sorry, did you say no deaths?
That's right. No civilian deaths. Just the 4 disrupt terrorists curtailed by law enforcement, who were, as always, so cohesive. If I may, I have a message for your viewers.
Of course. The camera. There's the speak there on the camera there.
Stay at home tonight. Do not become another casualty of war. Disrupt have had their moment, but as the dear departed Peter Clements once famously said, it ends today.
Thank you, Prime Minister, for those strong words of strength. Back to the studio. Megan, now in studio with Megan Wolf now.
Patrick Bannon there, bravely reporting from the front line of tonight's horrifying bombing. Maybe you need to get checked out, Patrick. Well, that brings us to the end of tonight's National Nightly News, but before we go, one final thought. Throughout the programme tonight, we've been receiving reports of disrupt activities throughout the territories. Through a series of coordinated attacks, these terrorists are attempting to undermine Advance's vital work. However, sources at team headquarters have told us that this acid revolution was not only predicted, but allowed to happen.
Blasted.
Our government have lured disrupts out from the shadows, and they are not the overwhelming force they would have you believe. The military have been actioned, and well, it's pretty scary out there tonight, so stay at home and stay with Channel 1, because the team has assured this programme that the turbulence will soon be over, and we can once again focus our minds on building the new future with equality, fairness and resources for all. My name is Megan Wolf. Let's make tomorrow better.
God, I made it to the roof. Set up the rocket launcher. Let's silence the monster. Okay, from the window, Alex. Watch the tower. Over the city. Head for a circle along with that launcher. 2 minutes, sir. That's too long. That's too long. Advisor! Take cover.
Dead, LOL. Yeah! What did we miss?
Is Channel 1, broadcasting across the territories.
Before we go over to join Megan Wolf and the team,
Cooter
for the
House,
National
thanks for
Nightly
subbing.
News, there's just time to take a look at what's coming up later on tonight. At 6:30 p.m, it's Territory Trivia, where tonight...
What if we go backwards? Couldn't you go backwards on VHS's, chat?
This is Channel 1.
I mean, like, loop by going backwards. Chud Bungus, thanks for subbing. There's a start to the tape. Fake boomer. You arrive at work a little early despite a stressful journey in. You still aren't quite sure of everything that happened, though. If a swarm of CCOs all over the building is anything to go by, this isn't just a Channel 1 matter. It's confirmed when you're informed by you need to speak to Bozeman immediately and are escorted to his office. You sit out nervously outside waiting for your boss. A few minutes later, the boss man arrives disheveled and with a stern-looking CCO in tow. Ah, yes, Winston, good. This is Specialist Abel. She will be observing this interview. Please come inside and take a seat. The ruddy-faced man bustles into his office and leaves the door open for you to follow. The few times you've been in here before, it was immaculate with everything in its proper place. Not so today. It must be serious for Bozeman to be this flustered. So, Alex, do you know why you're in here today? Bozeman eyes are sharp, and his gaze fixed upon your face from across the desk. Abels is standing behind you. Out of sight, but definitely not out of mind. I assume it had to do something with Disrupt? What happened last night was nothing short of the culmination of a heinous and outrageous campaign of terror that Disrupt have been reaping on the station and its territories. Bozeman shoots a glance behind you to your left where your CCO observer is standing, and it is, of course, our duty to root out this rot wherever we find it. To prevent anything like last night ever happening again, I've been asked by Advance to perform interviews with all staff members involved. You'll be submitting a personal review of your performance, both during the incident in question and throughout your time here. This can only end well. Bozeman receives a thick file from a drawer and lets it thud heavily onto his desk. The next 2 minutes of silence seem to pass agonizingly slow as he methodically reads page after page. Eventually, he stops only to stare at you while cleaning his glasses, his face unreadable. According to this, you were instrumental as a tool for the terrorist organization Disrupt to undertake not only their various crimes, but a systematic spread of misinformation and violence. Do you have anything to say for yourself? Only joking, Bozeman chuckles, though neither you nor Specialist Abels join him. Turning to her, he continues, Alex is one of our best and brightest, a great asset to the team. They'd never be involved with such shenanigans. He gives you a wink. I think we're done here. You can carry on with your day, Alex. We'll call if we need anything else. With a smile and a wave, you're shown the door. Everything worked out in the end. It's the banquet again. It's always a difficult time of year, even though it's been over 2 years since the divorce. Your anniversary always hits hard, and the apartment still doesn't really feel like home yet. Just as you're deciding what takeaway to order and what film to accompany, you hear a knock on the door. It's rare for you to get visitors, and with no small degree of curiosity, you hesitantly open it. Surprise! You're shocked to see Susie and Charlie standing in the hallway with a bag of food of their own and a bottle of wine besides. We brought dinner and drinks, figured he'd use the company today. Susie heads to the kitchen and starts divvying out food onto the plates to shoot her a grateful smile. Yeah, exactly. Plus, your life's totally boring without us, right? So we're here to liven it up, Charlie adds, flicking through your VHS collection for whatever his current obsession is. What about Sam? Well, how are they doing? They're all good. They're out tonight, so we're here. Susie brings over a place for the three of you, 2 glasses of wine. Hey, how come I don't get a glass? I even like wine, Susie retorts. Yeah, well, now that I'm 18, I have a more sophisticated palate. Charlie grins as he goes to help himself to a glass. She rolls her eyes at you, achingly similar to the way Sam used to. So how are you both doing then? Well, actually, we both got some really important news. Chippy, you go first, Susie laughs. Well, I've officially been accepted for the Community Fusion Manager program. It starts in July, so basically straight away after I finish school. I can't wait. Charlie's beaming at you. That's amazing, Charlie. Well done. You give Charlie a brief hug before turning expectantly to Susie. And right, my news. Zach and me were trying for a baby. Stunned, you don't exactly know how to react, but seeing the mixture of worry and excitement on your daughter's face, you instinctively pull her into a hug. She's always dreamed of being a mother. Everything else was second on the list. You're going to be a fantastic mom. Ugh. Are we done with the hugging and stuff now? I've picked the movie. You and Susie laugh together as you break the hug and pick up your respective plates again. Charlie's gone for a classical timey horror, exactly the stuff you and Sam used to watch together. It's one of the best evenings you've had in ages. For the first time, you feel like you're at home again. See, chat, we got the best ending. I knew what I was doing, dude. Easy. Easy why? Sam's call had been brief but urgent. Susie was in the hospital and asked both of you to come. Both was surprisingly understanding, telling you to leave work immediately. You'd expect at least some hesitation when you ask the front desk, they direct you to Susie's room. You're up 2 flights of stairs along the corridor until you find the right room. Another one. That's what, 5? The 2 nurses outside cut themselves off as you push back into the room. Sam's in your daughter's bedside speaking with a doctor. Susie is a medical gown. Both faces are streaked with tears. What's wrong? What's happened? The doctor looks sympathetically toward you as you move to put your arms around the pair of them. Susie should be fine after some time to rest. However, I'm afraid we were unable to save the baby. Sam hugs Susie as your daughter breaks down into tears. Oh, God. I know this is hard to hear right now, but it looks like it could be difficult, if not possible, for you to conceive. Again, I'm terribly sorry, and if you have any questions, I'll be just outside. The 3 of you are left alone in the room, hugging tight as if that could somehow fix this. Your poor little girl. You wish there was something you could do, anything, but there isn't. For now, all you can do is hold her close and protect your daughter as best you can. Protect her how? Murphy the gaming dog, thanks for subbing. Crean Murphy, the loss. You're just getting ready to go to bed and read your book for a little while before sleeping when the phone rings. Grudgingly, you answer it, and you're a little more surprised to hear Sam on the other end. Sorry, I know it's late, but I didn't know who else to turn to. Is there any way this could wait till tomorrow? I was about to go to bed. I'm sorry, you hear a sob over the phone. Alex have been made redundant, and it's not just me. Teachers all over the country have been. I don't know what to do. There aren't any jobs. What am I supposed to do? You can hear pain in Sam's voice. Sam, that's awful. I'm so sorry, but I don't know what you expect me to do. I know I have no right to ask this, but after what happened to Chris and Harvia, I don't have anywhere else to turn. Is there any way you can loan me some money just so I can get back on my feet? Seriously, Sam, you're the one that asked for the divorce, and now you want me to bail you out? The phone goes silent for a few moments before Sam responds in a very quiet voice. They're going to take the house, Alex, where our children grew up. Please, another pause. I need this. I'm sorry, Sam. It's too much. I can't help. Okay, goodbye, Alex. Sorry to have bothered you. There's a click on the phone as the phone goes dead. Poor Sam. You feel for them. You really do. But what will be, will be. It is what it is. It's holiday time, baby. Murphy the gaming dog, thanks for subbing. It is what it is. The nukes cause sterility? Or maybe we're sterilizing everyone.
Hello, Alex. I've checked the schedule for tonight. Nothing major to report. Certainly isn't anything you can't handle. Still, at least my daughter's in for Advance's new initiative. That should liven things up a bit here. Keep up the good work.
My shit's looking fresh, dog.
A rundown of the top-selling songs across the territories. Expect catchy tunes and scenes of an inappropriately sexual nature, not one to miss. At 10 p.m, it's time for Julia's Diary, where the ever-popular Prime Minister reads extracts from her diary in front of a warm fire. Then, at 10:30, it's the latest episode of our drama series, Better Meet, which tells the inspirational story of Emily Dennisworth and the brave doctors and technicians struggling.
And this is Jenny. She's the floor manager.
Hi, Stacey.
That's Colin. He do you know, just don't talk to Colin.
Not getting involved and bring your daughter to work, eh, Colin?
Nah, we don't believe in it.
All right, come and sit next to Mum.
Believe in what?
Just days.
How did it all go so right? That's followed by the territory
Atta girl.
advanced briefing.
10 seconds, everybody.
Now
All of you.
Mondays a myth.
That explains so much. Okay, we are going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening and welcome to the NNN. I'm Megan Wolf. And who's this, you might be wondering? Well, it's Bring Your Daughter to Work Day here at Channel 1. So I'm joined tonight by my foster daughter, Stacey. Say hello, Stacey.
Go fuck yourself.
Right then, here are the stories that matter to you. First up, with Advance confirming that the nuclear fallout from the 20-week war is to blame for the drop in birth rates across the territories, we asked you what keeps you going. I know that I, for one, was quite deflated when I heard about this, but reading all your submissions really put the smile back on my face. This is from Sonia in Larkfordshire. I've had plenty of time to fill, so I've started a new hobby. Since I started knitting, I barely remember that 85% of the country is sterile. My record is this scarf. It's 124 metres long. Thank you for that, and if you've started a new hobby, do write in and tell us about it. Next up, you know how we love your uncanny comestible coincidences, and I don't know about you, but I think this one really takes the biscuit. I'm not sure what I'm more impressed by, Stacey. The things our viewers spot, or the unbelievable way our menu centres are now able to feed every team member every single day. Greg from Proddington has sent us this lovely photo of their breakfast, saying, I couldn't bring myself to eat my toast this morning because I could swear it bore the spitting image of the great Julia Salisbury's relatable face. So I had to make do with a plate of butter and 2 spoonfuls of jam. Do keep those coming in. Come on, can we have a go? We've just got time for one more of your stories, and this one is an inspiring story of rehabilitation. That's it, just tell us who it's from, yeah, and then read it out, okay?
So this one says it's from John in Stokely. Before I was convicted, I'd never read a single book, but since I was released from Betterman, I haven't been able to stop. I'm even working at a library, and on our lunch breaks, Mr. Wordyworth spell checks my tattoos.
We absolutely love hearing the way our neighbours and team members have been able to become better people. So do let us know your stories here. You can do this bit, Stacey.
No, you're all right, thanks.
Come on, give it a try.
Let us know your stories here at the NNN.
Right, bit of a change of pace coming up here. You'll need to use the S effect buttons for the next segment, but Advance have already selected when and what to use. Simple stuff. Just follow your government orders.
Okay. Yes, sir.
First up tonight on the NNN, it's time to celebrate this week's team lottery winners live from the Shakespeare Theatre right here in the capital. We're going to hand over to Julia Salisbury. I suppose you don't think much of her either, eh, Stacey?
She's got a lot more going for her than you wankers.
Surprising vote of approval there from Stacey. Let's go live to that right now.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this week's Team Awards.
That's my Prime Minister.
The duties I have as team leader, this is by far the most pleasant. As I so often say to you, the uneven past is now, following the demise of Disrupt, firmly behind us. This is the new future, and I say to you, it's better now.
True. I'm rich now.
I'm delighted to be joined here tonight by one of the oldest people in Territory 1. He was born over 107 years ago. Please give a warm team welcome to Alfie Tatchbadger. So, Alfie, you must have seen so much in your lifetime. What have been some of the highlights? Alfie? Is he all right?
His hearing aid isn't turned on.
Oh, could you turn it on?
He says it drains the battery.
Well, will you tell him that we'll buy him a brand new battery after the presentation?
Yeah, he says that's fine then. And I will help him with that, yeah.
If you would. Sorry, can't get the staff.
Yeah. We got it.
So, Alfie.
What?
You're 107 years old.
Oh, don't bloody remind me.
Would you like to tell the audience what that's like?
Well, where is everybody?
Out there, in the dark. Oh, bless him, it's not just the ears.
Who are you? 2 sugars, please.
I'm Julia Salisbury, the Prime Minister.
I like this story. Who are you really?
No, I really am the Prime Minister.
Oh, you're
a woman.
Yes, a woman. One of
Women
them.
can do anything men can do these days, Alfie.
Oh, can you piss standing up?
I can't say I've ever tried.
No, I didn't think so. 2 sugars, please. Not too much milk.
Shall we get to the awards, Alfie?
Oh, are you going to ask me about my life?
Well, I'm not sure we have enough time left now for that, so...
When I was 9, I wanted a pet, so I asked me mum and pap. There was no television then, back then, you know. We made our own entertainment out of coal and roadkill.
Well, that's fascinating.
So they got me a pet, see? But it weren't a dog. They told me it were a dog, but it were a stone.
A stone?
Yes. So I called it Patch, which was a popular name for a dog back then on account of the king having a patchy face. And I decided to introduce him to pretty little Gertie Thimble, who lived up the road.
Oh, how romantic.
She threw my dog in the river. That was the day I decided I'd never marry.
And that's the secret to your long life?
Oh no, I've been married 7 times, divorced 8. There was a mix-up with number 3, see? Yes, I'm just lucky. Are we going back to the home soon?
Soon, Alfie. First, let's turn to the reason we're all here, the weekly Territory 1 Team Awards. First up tonight is a lady who really knows how to put in the extra hours. She works at a transition centre in Hamble-Bamblebury, and she has single-handedly allowed more families to unburden each other than any other nurse in Territory 1. In the uneven past, she'd have been locked up. Tonight, she is being honoured as a team player. Please welcome Daphne Snister.
Are you here to change me?
Just give her a medal, Alfie. There's a good boy.
Got you. I mean, 2 sugars. And don't let it steep too long.
I think you're supposed to give me one of those.
Oh. Well,
There he goes. Look.
I can't get the arms up any higher than that. You'll have to go down now.
Thank God those fractious times are behind us, and now the territories are thriving.
Are we in? As the act is said to the bishop.
Yes, thank you. I've got it from here.
Well done. Daphne Snister, everybody. Now, open your envelope and find out what you've won. Crikey, don't hold back there. She's tougher than one of Peter's homemade Eccles cakes.
Got it. I won a holiday for 2 in Territory 15. Used to be called San Palmerino, didn't it?
I believe it did, yes.
Why couldn't we have stuck with that then? It's easier to remember.
We're all one nation now.
Hang on a minute. Isn't it still on fire?
Daphne Snister, everyone.
Oh, what about my change? I've been in these white front for 3 days now.
We'll get to that, Alfie.
Pro censorship.
Next up tonight is a couple from Farnley who, after a rocky start losing their family's ill-gotten gains to the Assets and Wealth Act, have really embraced the new future. setting up a community farm and petting zoo in their local area for all the local children to play. Please welcome Otho and Lobelia Jackson Randy-Gannett. Medals, Alfie.
You know, when I was in the trenches, I had a pal called Scotty Wilson. He was from way up north, so I didn't understand a bloody word he said. But he were my best mate.
Should we describe them for ourselves?
Probably for the best.
And his best mate was Smudger Ace. There was them two. Fiddly Eric, Unstable Terry, and of course, Leggy Sydney. She were a girl, but she had a boy's name, so they shipped her to the front anyway. First girl any of us has ever seen, close up. She's dead now. They all are. Smudger and Scotty never made it home. Fiddly got shanked in Frankworth prison in an argument over an olive. And Terry, he exploded quietly at home. Sydney got a fatal skin condition. Scratched herself to death. It makes you think.
Thanks, Alfie. Great contribution. So, Otho and Lobelia, a petting zoo.
After we lost all our wealth, we discovered there were actually people who had never even owned a pony.
I used to have 3.
So we decided to do something about it. That's the type of people we are, you see. Advantage of a private education, probably.
Well, I'm sure we could debate that all night.
Boo!
So, let's see what you've won.
Yes, but before we do, there's something I wanted to say to you.
Oh, absolutely. Every citizen of the new future has my ear.
When advance came to power, you took all of our wealth. You took the shirts off of our backs.
Quite literally, in my case, I used to collect shirts.
Well, you might as well have the rest of it, too.
Oh, security!
God, not again. If I said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Pennies and the news are not good bedfellows. Keep those flappy bits off my channel, Alex.
And better. And you are?
Yeah!
Oh, nice.
Got to go.
Oh.
It isn't right and it isn't fair.
You tell him, girl. That's my wife, you know. Only you don't.
You can't mix pearls with swine. It isn't right. We used to have 3 horses, fed into Fethel and hung well. And now what have we got? 2 mangy goats, 1 mongrel dog called Kenneth, and a rooster that would bloody shut up!
Can we get this over quickly with, please?
As the actress said to the bishop. Oh, here we go again. Hello, Alfie Tadge Badger. Pleased to meet you.
Stop them!
Oh, don't worry, love. I'll protect you. Oh, 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 oh.
You better break their ruddy nose.
You know, this reminds me of when I was in my 20s and we go to the promenade at Shining on Sea and watch all the pretty girls on the beach. Everything was black and white then, of course. We'd visit the Penny Arcade and try to win a block of lard to take home for the family. Buy lard in those days. You had to win it. Oh, it was so much simpler.
They're beating her to death.
Boys were boys, girls were girls. Everyone else was recruited by the circuses. There were loads of them, you see, circuses, with their big tents and their candy floss. You'd hear the music, the pipe organ, drifting over the nearby fields. My mum used to call it the most magical sound in the world. This was before she lost her hearing after giving a particularly loud round of applause. Did you ever go to the circus?
What's that, Alfie?
The circus. Oh, never mind. Yeah, just a tea, pet.
Well, that was an unexpected dose of naked nostalgia. Some people simply can't let go of the past. That's why I look in joy and fervent admiration at the younger generation. So cohesive, such a team. And
What?
with fertility falling throughout the territories, we should
I wasn't even on her for that
value the
long.
new generation now more than ever. Our final winner tonight is a go-getter who really went and got 'em, helping to root out more than 170 Disrupt collaborators in his own neighbourhood. Since then, he's gone on to be a senior cohesion cadet leader and organised all of the entertainment at last year's Camp Cooperation. Our final
Is it my
winner
son?
tonight, Edwin Neverley.
Oh man, he always disappoints me.
You should be in a transition centre, you old non. It's an absolute pleasure to finally meet you. We're very similar, in my opinion.
Well, I've never been much of a role model.
Nonsense, Prime Minister. You have saved this country. You have fought enemies, foreign and domestic, with an iron fist. As with my own tiny fists have I.
Well, let's open the envelope and find out what you've won. Maybe it'll be a fist enlargement.
Sheesh!
A year's internship as a behaviour coach at Betterment. Let's show the fools where they went wrong, eh?
Well, actually, Betterment is about rehabilitation, Edwin.
Absolutely. And if they won't reintegrate, we retaliate. Just like you did on Liberation Night. Thank you for this award, and stay vigilant. Report the non-cohesives. Be a team player.
That concludes tonight's awards. Join me next week when, hopefully, things will be a lot more normal. Back to you, Megan.
Prime Minister Salisbury there at a highly eventful team awards ceremony. Any thoughts on this week's winners, Stacey?
The nurse was fucking scary, the pretees were saggy, and that little prick will never lose his virginity.
Okay, well, succinctly put there, if a little profane. After the break, we'll be going live to a star-studded premiere. You won't believe who's on the red carpet tonight. Don't go anywhere, we'll be back after this. And we're out!
Oh, Alex, one other...
somewhere else.
What's that? You're off already?
All by themselves.
I know you had to take the day off work with uni, but... Oh, I see. No luck still with Theodore. I'm so sorry, darling.
Reach for the bleep button every time you do. Do you think we could try that?
I'll speak to you later.
Can go fuck themselves.
Oh, Alex, completely forgot what I was going to say. Blast it all. You're lucky your Susie is outside the catchment area and exempt for today.
What?
Tragic comic disaster.
Yeah, that.
What is a catchment area?
Back in the chair.
Sterling creations as entries in the United Territories Anthem Slam. We're looking for a new song for the new future. Something that speaks from and to your hearts. An original composition of cooperation and cohesiveness. A song of solidarity for a steadfast society. No previous songwriting experience is required. All you need to do is record or notate your anthem and, if possible, arrange it for a modern 39-piece chamber orchestra or 44-voice choir. The entries will be judged by acclaimed composer Jonathan Williamson, responsible for the soundtracks to Bullet Man,
Bullet Man,
The Automated, and, of course, Space Opera, Parts 1, 2, and 5. So why not put on your composing trousers, sharpen your music stick, and have a go? You can grab the friendly 31-page entry form at your nearest team offices. Advance, because a mighty movement requires a mighty melody.
And we are going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. Stacey's still here.
Wishing she wasn't.
Thanks, Stacey.
Bitch.
And in this segment, we're delighted to have sent Robin and Patrick to the movies. Yes, tonight is the world premiere of The Automated, starring Lawrence Blunderclatch and the late, great Helena Canterbury Boatshoe. And all the stars are out tonight. We first covered this film almost 5 years ago, back when it was called The Medicated. Then, for mysterious reasons, the film was suddenly pulled the night before its release. Well, since then, executive producer George Focus has spent 5 long years polishing the film and turning it into a special edition premiering tonight. With extensive state-of-the-art visual effects and a top-quality voice team, George says it's the movie he always wanted to make. Now, let's take a look at it.
I can't deconstruct it.
Captain?
I can't deconstruct it.
His name's Dick.
Is this a wig?
You think I don't grow that?
No, Dick, I'll kill you. Think of Saturn.
There's something on your face, Chief Harrison. I wish you were real, baby. Flesh and blood.
Captain Quasar.
But you're just ones and zeros, baby. If only I'd noticed.
Captain Quasar.
You rusted, but I didn't notice.
Captain.
I'm buffering, Dick, you said.
Got one on you.
God damn it, blast it off!
Here's a map.
What's a map? Okay, so head north on Interstellar Avenue, left at the asteroid belt, and a tricky three-point turn at Uranus. What are these symbols? This corner. This is the key.
We could shut it down.
Yes, we could shut it down. But we have to ask ourselves, who are we?
Gosh, thrilling stuff. What did you think, Stacey?
The robots were all right, I guess.
They certainly were. Let's go over to Robin Short now in Western Square, who I believe has got the star of the show. Robin.
Right, you, shall we?
Yes, we are live from Western Square with a man who needs no introduction, Lawrence Blunderclatch. How has your evening been so far?
Magical. Absolutely magical. My most dear friends all gathered here to celebrate my work. One really couldn't ask for much more. Good one.
Well, on that note, with award season just around the corner, are you hoping to add to your collection for a third time?
Well, I really couldn't say. But if the association deigned to honour me for a fourth time, so be it. It's really not for me to say. But let's just say that I know of 3 little gold men who are getting rather lonely.
Absolutely.
Because I've won 3 little awards.
And
Cool.
Each more deserved than the last. Well, it's safe to say that your career has gone supersonic in the last couple of years. How's that been?
Well, as I was saying to Stephen only yesterday, that's Stephen Spellman. The Stephen Spellman. Lovely chap. I mean, unbelievable mind. I said, Stephen, you know, this really has been quite the ride. Did you know what he said? He agreed with me.
Wow. And what do you attribute your success to?
Well, if we're talking actual numbers, I'd have to say 60% talent, 30% looks, and 10% passion, brackets general. Not to mention the incredible coverage on election night. That really was the start of it all. That and my own range of sick bags. Lawrence's Chundercatch.
Wow. Who could forget? Well, it's been a delight talking to you, as always. Thank you so much. Well, Patrick Bannon should be with Lil C for a conversation.
That's
that
not
doesn't
Patrick
involve
Bannon,
bots.
man.
Patrick.
Thank you, Robin. Let's hope not. I'm actually joined here by
Billy Bob Jean Short. And surely you recognize my youngest, pop sensation, Lil D. Her Lil C covers album drops next week.
Actually, we weren't expecting Lil C. Is she?
She's around. She's not been feeling very well. She's put me in charge.
Has she?
Well, the courts have. They gave me stewardship over her estate, her finances, and her internal soul. Praise Craglaw!
Praise Craglaw. Wow. But is she coming just because we've got some questions for her?
Well, she might be along later, but as her legal and spiritual guardian, I'll be happy to answer all and any questions on her behalf.
And Lil D, was it? Well,
Lil D.
great. Oh, thank you. You know what? I feel great. Well, who are you wearing?
I'm wearing Little C, and you could be too.
Really?
Little C's new line launches tonight. This is one of my favourite looks. It's called hard to spell though.
But of course, Lil C is basically fashion royalty now with a veritable clothing empire to her name.
Yeah, well, the label's gone from strength to strength since our initial TV launch on this very show, actually.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So really, we have all you to thank for all this. You know, this hat
You're welcome.
costs more than my second jet. Feel that?
Yes, it's a nice hat.
Person.
And Forbes magazine has named
That's
me
what I was gonna say. Is it
the
human?
youngest self-made success story ever.
And do you have any advice for anyone wanting to follow in your footsteps?
Absolutely. All you need to succeed on your own is your family's financial backing and pre-existing fame. It's not rocket science, people.
But
True.
in sadder news, am I right that Lil C is going to be retiring from music?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. I'm sure you can imagine. At 25, she's far too old for pop music now. She can't keep up with these young stars. So her best of album is out now, and she's touring that later this year. And then her farewell tour the year after that, and that's her last chance to see her. So until the reunion tour, and then the classic tour after that. But it's been a long and varied career, as you can imagine. She's very, very proud of herself.
Oh, and if her health's bad, then maybe it's for the best.
What's wrong with her health? Oh, yes, her health. Her poor health. And surprisingly expensive treatments. Curse you, Zaytan! Damn your intergalactic justice!
Oh, yeah. Well, we better be letting you get back. Those babies aren't going to sell themselves, or possibly at all. Billy Bob, Lil C, D, thank you so much for joining me, and do pass our best wishes to Lil C.
Who? Oh!
Now, it looks like Robin is with a music legend who actually is irreplaceable. Is that who I think it is, Robin?
It absolutely is, Patrick. Jesus, how are you?
Yeah, you know, I'm good. I'm great. No thanks to you, silencing me, silencing the truth.
Are you referring to your attempt to incite violence against the democratically elected leaders of this country on live TV?
Yeah, exactly. And instead of being held a visionary, my manager and the agent, they all dropped me.
Oh, no.
But you can't break me when you didn't make me, you understand? See, I'm the voice, I'm the hope. You can lock me up, call the doctors, but only the moon can judge me.
So, what have you been up to since your team cut ties with you?
You know, keep building, keep moving. I'm actually working on a track right now. Written, recorded, directed, all by myself.
Can we hear a bit of it?
What now?
I know I'd love to hear it, and I'm sure the people at home would love to as well.
Yeah, sure, of course. Give me the mic. Yo. The news tried to shut my mouth, but it won't be long until they go south. Because my name's Big J and you can't stop me. See, no censorship can stop me. Yeah, see, that's all I've got at the moment.
We neutered this guy.
Me? With me?
No! Daddy promised this wouldn't happen again. You're supposed to clap and say, well done, Julian, well done.
Well done, Julian.
Thank you. Now, ask me a polite question, and I'll walk away nicely.
Okay, is it true that you're heir to a hotel chain?
What? Where did you hear that?
And that you're very much alive parents
La, la,
are
la,
currently
la,
on the
la,
run
la,
for
la,
massive
la, la, la,
financial
la, la,
hoarding.
la.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you trying to censor me? Oh, Jesus there, who really does seem to be going from strength to something. There are just so many stars here tonight, Megan. It really is
The Dice still thanks for something. Spoofy, thanks for something. Power, thanks for something.
whatever here. I'm going to see if I can grab
The
a moment
AVA
with someone
effects,
rather
Slaprock,
special.
thanks for something.
I hope you're not too jealous, Megan. Back to you.
Thanks, Robin. But I think Stacey and I are probably in quite enough trouble where we are. So, 3 big names there, Stacey.
Yeah, big names.
Any thoughts about them? Maybe from your generation's perspective?
You won't like my opinions.
Oh, go on, try me.
Well, Bumbanonk is so old he's like 1 week away from a transition centre, so who cares? And Lucy was cool when I was like 12 or something, but now she's just another fucking loony. And Jesus is a disrupt-loving wanker who should have died with the rest of them 3 years ago.
You're right.
You agree with me?
No, you're right, I don't like your opinions. But thankfully, we can go back to Patrick now, who has another familiar face to catch up with. Oh, Patrick!
It's absolutely buzzing here, Megan. The anticipation is killing us. But a little birdie's told us that any moment now, we should get a glimpse of someone incredibly popular with our viewers. A favourite destination for many of the fans. Yes, the Mayor of Bumley will be arriving literally any second now.
Oh.
No sign of him yet, but as you can tell, the atmosphere here really is something else.
There he is. It's him, Augers.
Patrick Bannon, NNN. What's it been like since Bumley got so popular?
Well, it's been wonderful. The tourism numbers have exploded thanks to the marketing campaign. Investors have ploughed millions into the town. We've got more Bumleyan jobs. It's brought more Bumleyan homes. We're all very grateful. Of course, it's not all bums and roses. It's almost impossible to get a good look at the whole these days. The crowds are unbelievable. Who can blame them? It's a bloody marvellous whole.
And how have you found public service?
Well, to be frank with you, it's been the greatest honour of my life to serve the town that I love so dear. From the banks of the graceful Taint to the quiet elegance of the vomit-soaked car park outside the 24-hour petrol station. It's been a privilege, a pleasure, a gift, and I can't thank the mayor enough for all he's done.
Let's talk to the mayor now. Excuse me, sir.
What?
Can you tell us a bit of what it's like to be elected to such a prestigious office? And do you have any words for your legions of fans out there? Stoic, but blistering honesty from the Right Honourable Peanut T. Fortescue there. And his PA.
A proclamation. Quickly, fetch a policy bag. Yes, sir. We'll get it ratified at once.
Well,
Poop
there you
jokes.
have it, Megan. What an honour to
Nice.
literally see local government at work there. I'm still in shock. Back to you at the studio.
Thanks, Patrick. What a colourful interview there on what looks like an amazing night. They certainly know how to make an entrance, I hope. And the automated really does seem to have unstoppable written all over it, because despite Boris Horsey in Hours magazine calling it Lawrence Blunderclatch's overly long suicide note, in a review which ends with the words, and he hasn't even had the decency to see it through, the film, which is free to all residents of the territories, has seen record pre-bookings and looks set to run for months and months. But let's go back to those lucky few seeing it tonight. Oh, I'm so jealous. Robin, you seen it there?
Shit.
I thought I saw some leprechauns in the green room, but I think it might have been someone's kids. But I know, they just keep coming. And here are some more famous faces, or famous brains, I suppose. It's Dr. David Wong, and Dr. Ingrid is also here. We have been following your plight so closely on our show over the last few years. What's it like to be back on dry land?
It's so wonderful. I'm still not used to it. Every time I see the sun, I want to just scream out in joy. I'm grateful every day to your viewers for their support. Without them, well, we wouldn't be here.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fine.
And am I right in thinking that you two have a lovely little boy together?
Dante's 3 now, and he's gorgeous.
Oh, what a beautiful family.
Where is he?
Not since you left me.
Oh, excuse me, I didn't mean to,
It's fine.
Oh, it's fine, is it?
Well, what happened?
Well, you know, the normal story. Sometimes things aren't as easy as they were when all you had was a cave.
No sooner was she able to see me in daylight than she was zooming off with a moron.
Oh, she's not a moron. She's a doctor.
A dermatologist is not a doctor.
So sorry about this.
I'm sure she's got lovely skin, but forgive me if I don't ask her to do a coronary artery bypass.
If you carry on eating those pies, you might have to.
Here we go again. Yeah? Very good. We can't all have paws as clean as hers, can we?
At least she doesn't have a PhD in biomechanics.
You take that back.
Well, thanks to you both for pushing the boundaries of human knowledge.
Arsehole.
Crikey! Well, the movie's about to start, so Patrick and I are about to share a box of overpriced popcorn. Back to you, Megan.
Thanks, Robin. Lucky you, and enjoy the movie. The Automated opens in cinemas across the territories this weekend. What a star-studded event, eh, Stacey?
Who cares? No one goes to the cinema these days.
Of course. We'll be back after these messages. I still go to the cinema.
You should get yourself a video recorder, like the one at the home.
Yeah, I've got a video recorder. It's just not the same, is it?
You're right, it's better. No unevens chatting and chewing all the way through.
Oh, what about a kiss and cuddle on the back row? Doesn't that happen anymore?
In public? What's wrong with you?
Nothing's wrong with me.
Feeling better? All right, you are. I've got to get set up for heat rash. I think Ronnie's on something.
I know he is. It was on his rider. Apparently it's medicinal.
Ronnie's always high. Give him orange juice.
My God, she speaks.
Who the fuck is Ronnie?
And just like I wish she wouldn't.
Who the fuck is Ronnie? I'm Ronnie. The camera guy?
We seem to be a bit bunched up at the end.
Oh, don't worry. It's Soko.
It's what now?
It's...
Oh, here's Megan. She's going to be interviewing you.
Hello. Hi.
This is her... this is Stacey.
Well, hello there, Stacey.
Fuck off, Ronnie.
Right. No, I'm sorry, but if we can't be polite, you're going to have to wait in the dressing room.
Whatever.
Do you want to go and wait in the dressing room? Hmm?
No.
No what?
No. Thank you.
Okay. And sit up straight. You're ruining my shot.
That's 10 seconds, everybody.
Fucking right, Noko.
What's that? What's no?
Bring in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. For our final segment tonight, Stacey and I are delighted to be joined by Heat Rash. Their new album, Girls and Why We Love Them All, comes out this weekend. So, let me see if I can get this right. It's Nolan.
I write the songs.
Ronnie.
That's what it says on my tattoo.
Oh, you've got a tattoo of your name on yourself. Okay.
In case he forgets it.
This raconteur, you must be Chinny.
Stop.
Why do they call you Chinny?
It's because of this ugly old thing.
I don't know what you mean.
Oh God, you're so fucking embarrassing.
Dale. Crikey, Dale, you do not look old enough to be in a band.
I get that a lot. I'm actually 23, the oldest one. I have a growth disorder.
God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that.
It's Soko, Preeti.
He's only messing with you.
He's actually 58.
Okay, right, I see. You're going to be a handful, aren't you, boys?
Mum. Gross.
And you must be TP. What does TP stand for?
Tiny prick.
It stands for team player.
I see. How long have you
Nice.
had that nickname?
Ever since Nolan decided Terry Pronos was a shit name for a member of a boy band.
No co, Ronnie.
Yeah, no co, Ronnie.
Sorry, what does no-co mean?
Ah, it's the opposite of Soko.
Ah.
No cap.
Soko.
Yeah.
So cohesive. You
No cap.
pretties say cool.
Right, okay. Thank you, Stacey.
Sorry about her.
Not your fault. She's uneven.
So you guys
Whoa!
met through a show on one of our rival channels, didn't you?
Yeah, team players with a Z.
So how did that work then?
Well, actually, Dale and I knew each other from school. We were actually classmates. And
Fuck's sake, Nolan, mate. Give someone else a chance. We all went on team players. We all auditioned. The judges put us into bands. And, yeah, we went to their houses and they just put us into bands.
It's an example of how we're greater than the sum of our parts when we work in harmony.
And occasionally singing it.
So every week on the show, they get these bands and they give them a song that the producer just found from under the bin somewhere.
Actually, I write the songs.
And the public would phone in and decide which song they like best.
Right, and then the losers would be eliminated. Yeah.
Mum,
What?
Noko. Pretty so Noko.
The band who get the most approval get to play their song again.
Sure. So what happens to the losers then?
Mum.
What do I keep doing wrong?
We don't use the L word anymore.
What, you mean losers?
Would you please stop saying that?
That word is a pejorative. It's a word designed to diminish. At Go-Getters, I learned very early that we only win when everybody wins.
But
That's
sorry,
right, comrade.
That's not real life, is it? That's just sports board, no?
Thought you were Soko.
Yeah, I am Soko.
Nah, you're a shrinker. Can't be friends with shrinkers.
She doesn't know what you're talking about. She doesn't understand.
So I do understand, actually, Stacey.
What's a shrinker?
Well, a shrinker.
What's
is...
a preety, Mum?
Well, I think it means someone who's older, doesn't it?
Pre-territories.
It's someone who turned 18 before the new future. We call you preties.
Unevens.
Mimis. Nonks.
It's not her fault she's old. She can't help it.
I'm not that old.
I'm trying to help you here.
I don't think I need your help.
See? Total Mimi.
Is that so?
Yes, obviously.
You know what the real problem with you lot is? You just can't get over the fact that your beloved Disrupt are gone and you just don't fit in anymore. But the truth is, Disrupt were violent, no-co pricks being led by a fucking psycho. I'm glad they lost, and you should be too.
Listen, not everyone over 30 supported Disrupt, Stacey.
Not everyone, no, but one fuck-off lot of you did.
Soko, Stacey. Soko.
We've all learned maybe a little bit more than we expected to there. I'm genuinely delighted to have met Heat Rash. And before we end the show tonight, I think you're going to sing for us, aren't you?
Yes, that's right. We're going to sing a song from Girls and Why We Love Them All called Pieces of My Heart.
Thank God.
About a real relationship I had with an actual girl.
Oh, Nolan, give it a rest, mate. No one cares. Go on, let's get on these stools, lads.
Right.
So, Stacey, can I get your contact?
Oh, she's 15. Go on, piss off and sing your song, Terry. Christ.
Right you are.
So,
it's a very
here they
strong
are
nose.
with their latest single, Pieces of My Heart. Are you excited, Stacey?
Not for me, no. I only listen to blip music and a bit of jizzcore. Pop music is...
Oh yes, I know I meant to mention this earlier. Apparently these newfangled boy bands change singer all the bloody time. Try and follow along, eh? Keep the shot on whoever is currently singing the lead vocal.
Okay.
I saw you standing by the man you sent with a brand new pair of Lakers, baby. Do you remember? You took the first of the pieces of my heart. You wandered into a bush and grabbed a vodka and stank. Took our assets and our wealth and drew them out of the bag. I gave you little pieces of my heart. I didn't know two hearts could ever feel like this, girl. It's like you were custom made for me by Remington Smith. I take all of the loves that didn't last and leave them in the uneven past. Share the new future as my bride. You snatch me inside. There's no need to hide all the times that you cried. As my old man used to say, you blow me away. I just want you to stay. I don't want you to pay. You make me crazier than Neil today. On Liberation Night, girl, I was sitting beside you. We sat there shaking all the way through incisors. We held each other right. took a train through all the territories, and we threw away the rules and wrote our personal stories. You took a dozen pieces of my heart. I didn't know that life could ever feel like this, girl. It's like you were custom made for me by Remington's fist. I take all of the loves that didn't last, I leave them there, the uneven past. Share the new future as my bride, snatch me inside. There's no need to hide all the times you have cried. As my old man used to say, blow me away, I just want you to stay, I just want you to play. You make me crazier than Neil, make me crazier than Neil today. And now I'm staring at your membership card. There's your picture beaming brighter than a handful of flaws. I'm trying to find the pieces of my heart and leave them in the uneven parts. Share the new future as my bride. You snatch me inside. There's no need to hide all the times that you cried. As my old man used to say, you blow me away. I just want you to stay. I just want you to play. You make me crazier than Neil, crazier than Neil, crazier than Neil today.
We can only clap now.
Fantastic, thank you, Newflash. That was actually really good. Best of luck. Thank you for coming in.
Serious question, what is this and
Now
why are
it's
you
almost
watching
time
it?
for
Google it.
Final thoughts tonight.
Don't waste
And
my time.
I've actually asked Stacey to write a few, and they're just being programmed onto the auto cue now. Now I have no idea what she's going to say. So fingers on that bleep button in the broadcast room, just in case.
It's no question Tuesday, dog. Sorry.
Take it away, Stacey.
My name is Stacey. I guess you know that by now. Don't know why I put that in there. Anyway. I don't watch the news. There's no need. You hear all the important stuff from your mates, so I don't know what's considered important anymore. But I'm pretty sure that it's not rehash movies and fucking boy bands, so anyway. I'm going to talk about what's important to me. When Advance were first elected 6 years ago, I was 9 and in a home. Not a family home like you call a home. This was a state children's home. It was fucking awful, actually. It was like a Charles Dickens book. The roof leaked and the walls were damp some mornings. The food was bad. Drugs and alcohol were everywhere. No one cared. You had to watch your back all the time because there weren't enough staff to manage us. And yes, as you'd imagine, there was a lot of... Some bad stuff went down there with some of the staff, okay? Not all of them, but the others knew, and they didn't stop it. And then Advance won the election. And like a miracle, things started to change. They got better. We had nicer food. The home was not just repaired, but redecorated and kitted out with books and sports stuff and musical instruments and video games. Most of the staff were fired, and the new ones, which there were more of, spent time talking and working with the bullies. And you know what? A second miracle. It worked. The bullying stopped. Life, my life, got better. Because finally, there was enough money to do the good things, and Advance had the guts to do it. I joined Go-Getters, and on Liberation Night, that gave me a group of friends that I could talk with when the bombs went off and the power went out. Another miracle. I wasn't alone anymore.
And that was the night I finally understood the importance of being in a team. So here's my final thought. I know the people who were doing better under the old system long to go back. You say, we were freer, but what you mean is, we were richer. But for every one of you, there is 100 of me. And even now, after all you've had taken away, you are still doing better than I am, than I likely ever will. You still have homes of your own and families of your own who love you. And I'll never have that. So maybe you should stop looking for the worst interpretation of everything this amazing government does and realise it's not for you. It's for the millions like me. And you can cry and bleat all you want, but you're never going to get your money back because it's already been spent on miracles.
Wow, thank you, Stacey, for that. My name's Megan Wolf. Let's keep making tomorrow better.
And we're out.
Is that all right?
Yes, that was more than all right.
Nicely done. I think you might have actually given them something to think about.
So I guess you're going to be taking me back to the home now then?
I was thinking we could go out somewhere and, I don't know, have a meal, talk about our options, if that's okay.
Of course, Miss Wolf. Security will be standing by.
Thank you.
So they're always there then?
There was a thing a few years ago now.
Oh, with that Jeremy bloke? I heard about that, everyone did. Were you here back then? Doesn't look old enough.
She's growing on me.
Yeah, she does that.
Focus on our inner lives, for leisure, for art. We have less stress and we are healthier than ever. Our new future is secure. We are strong together, as a community, a team, safe from the divisive despots beyond our borders for whom cohesiveness is an alien concept. Every day, across these territories, neighbours support neighbours, and friends reach out to friends, strengthening and protecting each other through cooperation, through unity, as one. Advance, always together.
Give me a bonus! What? I'll be right back. But we'll beat this tonight. Oh my god, my audio was low that whole time. Uh-oh. Right back. What's good, gangster? Went to go get a drink. Spaghetti victim Catalina, thanks for subbing. The Anonymous, pure attention to Theo's Far Cry emotion. And Anna, Cupcake, thanks for subbing. Thank you. Dolores and Claudianne, thanks for subbing. You once again find yourself sitting inside of Bozeman's office. Everything is pristine and orderly, just how the fastidious man likes it, though it's rare for him to be late. The door opens behind you just as you start to imagine the reasons why. Alex, thank you for waiting. It's been almost 6 years since you started working with us, Alex. A lot has happened in that time, from the unfortunate incident with Mr. Donaldson to the disruptive attack on this very building. It pauses to look at you. You meet his gaze. The work you've done in that time has been exceptional, not to mention your dedication and enthusiasm around the office. I'm delighted to inform you that you've been approved for a promotion. As of today, you will not be a senior broadcast engineer. Bozeman is beaming at you now. Thank you. Of course, in addition to the pay raise, the role comes with additional responsibilities. You have to work longer hours going forward, but you'll be the primary engineer for weeknights, and in time, we can put you in charge of engineering more shows for Channel 1. You have a bright future ahead of you, Alex. Congratulations. He proffers a hand to shake it, and you take it. Now get back to work. Said with a smile. You're pretty sure he's joking, but it is Bozeman after all. Do you think I'm going to head back to your studio? You might be able to start working on other shows. What could the future hold? Then Regulus, thanks for subbing. It's late. It's been snowing all day. Unlike everyone else, you've stayed inside as much as possible, keeping warm. Normally you enjoy the snow, but today it's been nothing more than an irritant. Them always used to get excited when they saw the snow. When they were younger, they'd always wrap the kids up and take them out to play in it. There won't be any more family days like that now, though. Thinking about the dark nights always makes you feel melancholy this time of the year. Alone in your apartment, you can't help but wonder if things might have been different. Is there a world where you're still all a happy family, or was it inevitable that you end up here? Were you always going to end up alone, or did you push them all away? With those thoughts whirling around in your head, you decided to get an early night. Things always seem to get better after a good night's sleep. My family left me. They fucking hate me, dog. It's been over 13 years since your dad died. You visited his graves a few times since then, normally during times of stress, or when you're trying to figure something out, or when you're trying, well, just want some peace and quiet. Today's no different. In the past, you'd come here with Sam and the time. It always seemed to make things easier when they were by your side. No longer, the call of Raven catches your attention as it flies away. Charlie was only 8 when his grandfather died. He didn't really appreciate how big the loss was at the time, but as he got older, you did your best to pass on what your dad taught you. But now he's all grown up, he's actually starting to teach you, which is strange, but in the nicest way. You're proud of the man he's now become. Susie, despite everything she's been through, is still a rock for the rest of you. She'll always be a great mother. She'll be a great mother to the twins. Couldn't find a more loving home. There have been a lot of arguments over the years, but you wouldn't change a thing. You're still amazed at how far your daughter has come. She's one of the best things in your life. Since you're and Sam's divorce, you've not really spoken much. Not that it's a great idea, not that it's a great loss. You always seem to be butting heads about something or another, and you're certainly not sorry to see the back of Chris. What? Oh. But that's family. You've got to take the good with the bad. She may be in an albeit expensive care home now, but it's still comforting to know that your mother is around. Even if she barely recognizes you anymore, her presence is always reassuring. You could do with that now. You turn away and wander into the direction of the car. You can't control life. What happens, who lives, and who dies, all you can do is keep going and see what gets thrown at you next. What is life if not a series of little decisions that define us, and we'll never know which ones would take us one way and which would bring us here. Ugh. I swear this ends with us getting killed by Donaldson, chat.
I know lately what we've been putting out has been little more than government-prescribed drivel, but I'd like you to pay particular attention during tonight's show. It's important. It's also worth noting we're still having problems with the equipment. Locked buttons, screens flickering on and off, sparks and the like. I'm sure you'll manage without issue. Oh, and don't forget, you've got free reign of the SFX buttons now, so make sure you use them to keep things lively.
These Lil Chats. And tonight, the former singer is asking Dr. Adrian Atkinson Blimey what he's been up to since the cancellation of Incisors.
What have you got me?
Apparently, it's mainly jigsaws
Nothing,
and
Colin.
arson. At midnight,
No, come on, seriously. Not even a
I'm okay, yeah.
Sorry, no.
It's got snot in my nose.
Okay. No worries.
How old are you then, Cole? Okay, here we go. Big smiles.
I've actually gained a year. I celebrated 44 last year, but it's actually this year. It's brilliant.
You're 44.
I'm going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening and welcome
Spice it up with some audience responses, Alex.
I'm Megan and I'm joined as always by the inimitable Robin and Patrick. How are we?
Well, we have got so much going on tonight. I'm excited.
I'd say I'm about a 12, Megan.
On the excitement scale?
Yeah, exactly. We have got so much SoCo stuff coming up.
We sure do. We have celebrity chef Jordan Rankley, who will be cooking at the store.
We'll be announcing the winners of our big competition, Visions of the Future.
And we'll be joined by a very special guest for a game of Wheel of Truth. And I'll even be showing you how to make your own Leaders' Day gifts. We've got all of that and so much more tonight on The Nightly Show.
With SFX, less is more, Alex.
From the channel to you live from the capital. It's The Nightly Show.
It's The View, guys.
Right, let's have some applause on the way into the next section.
Cases by Chef Jordan Rankley. But first, we know you love them, so Robin's going to give us an update on our lovely Nightly Show pets in Pet Corner.
Fine, suit yourself.
Well, Megan, first up we have our hamster, Lord Cheeks. Now, he's a squat winter grey with the scientific name Adipen stultus, and he lives here with us in this cage. Hamsters love hoarding, and they actually have special pouches in their cheeks for storing food. He loves carrots, apples, and chewing tobacco. Now, hamsters are nocturnal, so we'll do our best not to wake him up. But let's just see if we can... Well, the door has been left open. It looks as though Lord Cheeks has actually gone for a little wander, but I'm sure he will be around here somewhere. In the meantime, let's say hello to our tortoise. Now, after last month, you'll know she's now, of course, called Slow Barbara. And don't panic, even though it is December, Babs here doesn't actually hibernate. Let's say hello. Oh, she's sleeping. Oh, Babs. Oh. Those are our Nightly Show pets, Megan, both alive and well. Back to you.
Are you taking the piss now?
We'll check in again, or some very similar animals at the same time tomorrow. Now then, I hope you're hungry, because if not, you're about to be. Patrick Bannon is with Chef Jordan Rankley, and they're going to be showing us how to knock up a delicious apple pie. It's time to go into the kitchen.
Into the kitchen.
That's right, and I'm joined here by Chef Jordan Rankley. Welcome to the Nightly Show kitchen. How does it compare to the kitchens you're used to?
I love the colours. It's vibrant. It's fresh. It's shame about all the arseholes. Yes?
Sorry?
What?
So, you own 6 restaurants, you've been awarded 9 Ballon Massifs across your career, and you've worked alongside the best chefs in the world. Tonight you've got me. Oh, are you worried?
Am I fucking worried? Are you worried? Are you fucking worried?
Yes. So, what are we making today, Chef?
So, we've got a family over for Leaders' Day. They're hungry. We're going to make them a delicious apple pie.
Ooh, lovely.
It's got sweetness, it's got the acidity of the fruit, and then you get the richness of that pastry. Incredible.
Wow, okay,
Nice hand
so
movement.
where do we start?
So we've got to start by making our filling. So we've got about 1 kilogram of fresh cooking apples here. Fucking beautiful. And we're going to slice these up perfectly. And then straight into the pan.
So, your new show, Demon Kitchen Heart Eater, starts on Friday here on Channel 1. So, tell us about that.
So, teams of young chefs come into my kitchen, and one by one I destroy them emotionally. And if there's time, I teach them some basic knife skills. Fuck me, Patrick. What are you doing?
What?
Shit. Is that how you cut? Fuck, you'll lose a fucking finger.
Oh, don't worry, I've got spares. Right, so once we've done that, we set these aside whilst we make the pastry. Yeah?
Yep. Bowl. Yeah? Okay. Sugar, butter.
Yep.
We mix that together, and then a whole egg. What are you doing, you fucking donkey? Are your brains the size of that fucking egg?
Oh, no, Chef.
No. Shit. Right. Mix that with a wooden spoon and work in that flour, okay? Work that into a nice ball of dough, just like that.
So, what does the notoriously fierce Jordan Rankley do to unwind?
Shit the bed.
Yeah.
What's that? What is that?
Well, it's a bit lumpy.
Lumpy? It could fucking pass for a sack of spuds. Touch that. Touch it. Yeah? Pathetic. That goes into chill. Now, we're mixing our filling. Apples, sugar, yes, cinnamon.
So, you own 6 restaurants across 5 territories. Which is your favourite?
Are you mixing that or fucking it?
What?
Are you going to light a candle? Take it out to dinner? Fucking mix it for fuck's sake. Right, now we're rolling out 2/3 of our pastry. Bit of flour into the dish.
And the filling goes next, right?
Absolutely right.
Oh,
lovely.
Okay.
Then we're taking the remaining pastry, rolling that into a round, and that goes on the top. Beautiful.
Lovely, okay.
Right. Wash a bit of water around the rim.
Right, yeah.
Beautiful. Now press gently all the way around. And we're cutting 5 slashes very carefully for the steam. And then brushing the whole thing with a beaten egg.
Lovely. Okay. Egg. Ta-da! What do you think?
Oh my God. You, come here. Come here, you. That's a disgrace. I'd rather jam my eyeballs up my fucking arse than look at that. I'd rather use my tongue to tie my shoes after a fucking shit-kicking contest, do you understand?
Then it goes in the oven for 45 minutes.
Oh, put your fucking head in the oven while you're at it. Useless. You! Come here, you! You're the worst fucking thing to happen to food since cyanide. Do you know that? I tell you what. Fuck off!
Oh.
Get the fuck out of here! Fuck off!
Okay, well, while I do that, let's go now to Megan and Robin, who will be announcing the winners of our competition, Visions of the Future.
I think you might be using those sound effects a little too much there.
Well, that looks delicious. If you want to follow along at home, then make sure you write in with
viewers,
a stamped
bitch.
addressed envelope, and we'll send you the fact sheet. So, Robin, look at all these amazing entries to the Vision of the Future competition.
Yes, we challenged you to show us your predictions of the future, and we were just inundated with entries, weren't we, Megan? From wacky inventions to global problem solving, they are all amazing, and we had the best time looking through each one.
It was so tough narrowing it all down, so we have some amazing runners-up. In 3rd place, drumroll please, we have Hamish, who's 3 from Lunwelly. He calls this still life and the future of God, and it really blew us away. Just look at the line work here. and I can really feel every passionate stroke of the brush.
If you look here, you'll see a beautifully rendered, what I thought at first was a smiley face or perhaps a cat. But I think if you really look, you'll see it's actually a representation of the seeming futility of death through the eyes of the living.
Indeed. He's also chosen to just leave a lot of it behind, which I think is really interesting. If you know Hamish and his work, of course, he loves focusing on the negative space rather than the image itself.
Stunning, absolutely stunning, and such talent from one so young, Megan. But next up we have our second place entry. So in second, drum roll please, we have Keith, 41 from Dungleys. Yeah, Keith, we were sort of aiming this towards our younger viewers, but still, he has sent in his idea of the future, which he's calling Ravaged Earth.
Indeed, he says in his really rather detailed notes, deprived of basic resources, society will resort to a brutal system of weekly battles to the death, where only the victor may breathe. He also says it's bonkers here, either that or about the same, but maybe a bit worse.
I really love his attention to detail. You can see the sort of gladiatorial arena, and then what I can only assume is Keith himself pulling off this chap's head and shouting, "Come back to me, Linda!" Oh, Keith. Maybe if you spent more time outdoors and less time entering children's competitions, she might not have left.
Special one there. And finally, of course, it's time to reveal our winner. All our runners-up will receive a day out at an inflatable Happy Land on an industrial estate just off the A40. Sorry about that. But our lucky winner will win the chance to spend the day at the Department of Change to see how our teammates are actually making the new future a reality every day. And the winner is, drum roll please.
Oh, happy with that.
You're 8 years old and you are from Smugly. We absolutely love your picture here. People's Parade. You've got folks walking together, just really celebrating the diversity of our society.
You've got people with all different flags, people celebrating their religion and their bodies, and there's even a game of sports board happening over here. That or some overzealous littering, it's hard to tell.
I love these robots having a little bit of a dance, getting involved in the party, aren't they? This one seems to have gone a bit haywire in what I can only assume is an ominous sign of things to come. Lovely, Lola.
Well, if our winners have inspired you to make some artwork of your own, do keep sending them in, and yours could be displayed in our gallery here.
Well done again to everyone who took part. We're going to take a break now, but when we come back, we'll be playing the Wheel of Truth and making some lovely homemade gifts. Don't go away. We'll be back after this.
Right, from what I can tell, the old vision mixer's getting a bit worse for wear there, Alex. Expect your kit will be deteriorating a bit more in this next segment, so be careful. I can't stress enough how important it is that we keep the show going tonight.
That's not far from here. Yeah, I'm on the bus.
Not tonight. I'll get cars arranged for you both. Find me when you're done and I'll take you out through the loading bay.
What? Wait, what? Huh?
You and your unshakable support.
And so,
We thank you.
for every citizen lifted out of poverty,
We thank you. For every person in pain who achieved a peaceful transition, we thank you.
For every child who found safety, purpose and friendship through go-getters,
We thank you. For every mind and heart bettered instead of punished, we thank you.
for our
Thank you.
safer streets
Our great cohesion,
and our brighter future.
Can we get him out here? I'm not sure
we
about this.
thank you.
Grandma.
Oh, he's writing with our other guest at the moment.
I just wouldn't say grandma.
Grandmother?
Yes, grandmother's arsehole. That's much better.
Oh, okay, everyone, if I could have your attention, please. Sarah just needs a word.
Apparently there's been some sort of disturbance near the studio. Now, I'm sure it's nothing to worry about, but I wanted to let you know that I've asked for extra security and they're already on their way.
Thanks, Sarah. Okay, 10 seconds, so positions and pose.
Okay, this time you've said it.
Laughing, and we're going in 5, 4, 3.
I know.
Don't forget the SFX buttons.
The nightly show. I'm sorry, we were just saying we can't wait to taste Patrick's pie.
I don't know, I think I could wait.
Well, here it is, fresh out the oven.
Oh, well, it does look amazing. Jordan, how did our Patrick do?
Well, let's just say that pie's got more crust than my grandmother's arsehole.
Well, thank you for that. Well, come on, try it. Dig in.
Okay. Whew. Oh my God.
Oh, look.